I don't. The Martel box. Are we live, Buzz?
That's why I can't
Yes.
find it here.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the third season of Second Sons. As always, I am Roy Rogers, formerly of the New York City Meta, currently of my apartment Meta, which has the British crime show Vera on in the background. So if you hear anyone with a lovely North English accent, it is because of that lovely show that my girlfriend is currently watching on Amazon Prime. As always, I am joined by my illustrious co-hosts. We actually have Buzz again with us. So that's all the last, three real Second Sons episodes have had Buzz, or four. So Buzz, how are you? Are you packing already for America? Like, do you just have like a bag ready to just run out for your impending trip?
I have my deck ready. I have my
Oh, wow.
tokens ready. I'm ready to go. Sure, why not?
All right. Also joining me is Aaron Glazer, who doesn't get to introduce himself. And then, so Sid, how are you?
I'm doing really good. Starting a busy week at school. It's finals. But besides that, testing a lot with my team Night's Watch.
Indeed.
You just mean Roy a lot, huh?
we have
and
not
I are
played a
talking.
single game together, actually.
Did he
Not a
make you?
single
Did
one.
he make you vegan yet? I feel like you're going to be a vegan at the end of this.
Does this look like it catches vegan parcels? This beard? No, this thing is full of gristle and meat.
Tofu.
Well, I
All
do
right.
like tofu, but that's neither here nor there.
We are finally, last but certainly not least, we are joined by the South Asian Avery Brooks. How are you doing, Sandy Barnabas?
I'm doing good. I like the Avery Brooks comparison.
Yeah, well,
I'm once again of the New York meta, I think.
for 2 weeks. Are you actually going to be in the city for that long?
I quit my job, so I'm here for a while.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you'll have to tell me more about that after the offline.
Wait, was this part of the head shape? I feel like you're managing a hedge fund now. I feel like that's your new job.
I literally have an interview for that.
All right. Well, big changes here. So I think we'll just jump right into it. We had some news happen. So just today, I believe, some spoilers for the Martel box dropped.
Say it right. Say it right, or I won't let you go on. I swear to God.
What, the box?
No, we had some what?
News?
No.
Spoilers?
Yeah. Say it.
Whatever the fuck.
There you go.
All right. So only 2 new cards, I believe, were completely visible, which is a new plot, which reads, because this is the Spanish translation we have to, it is Forced March, something like that. And the text are Edict War Traits. When revealed, each opponent kneels 1 character he or she controls with a military icon, if able. Then you may kneel a character with a military icon to initiate this effect again. And this can infinitely loop as long as you have military icons to kneel, according to Alexander Hines, who is in the comments of the Facebook thread.
Hey.
So, what do we think of this plot?
What's the gold? What's the
The
gold?
gold is it is 391. Oh, excuse me, 4915.
Oh. That's a good Martel plot.
So Aaron says it's a
Bastard
good
daughter
cartoon.
likes that.
She does. She definitely does. What do you think, Sid?
It's all right. I like that you can chain it. I guess maybe like a real cool mini curve with a ton of military icons. It could actually make all those icons useful for something, because they're not useful for a lot else right now. Maybe as a cheeky Tyrion's chain trigger. Because you wouldn't need to have that kind of lopsided kneel with the second trigger if you're triggering a second time with Tyrion's chain. So I don't know. I think that it's got potential, maybe, but I'm not super excited by it. Isn't Filthy just better?
I feel like Filthy is probably better maybe in this meta, because I feel like Intrigue Power Bicons are a bit more valuable at the moment. But although Mill Intrigue are also pretty valuable as well. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like military icons in general are a little less prevalent than they were, if this had been in the Stark box or this had been in the Lannister box. Yeah. But I don't know. It's interesting.
I really like this out of Stark. I think that war plots, they have synergy with that army that just beats people. you can set that up pretty easily. You have a lot of these dire wolves that don't do anything except have military icons.
Hey, you
I
can
don't know.
stand them with Bran and give them an icon. So
Yeah.
boom, you kneel.
I think there's going to be a Sam Brat special with this plot.
Well, in Stark, you can do things like then North remembers somebody to
Right.
stand everybody with Rob. So lots of interesting stuff here. But Buzz, you have any thoughts?
You don't have to kneel a character to kneel a character, right? It's only optional to do it
not
again,
the first
right?
time.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I love this plot. It's so good.
Told you.
It's so good.
Dude, it's amazing in Martell. You get to kneel 2 of their military icons for your 1 bastard daughter. And guarantee goes second.
Yeah.
Like, I'm with you, Buzz.
The initiative
Which means
is
you're-
stupid good.
Yeah, which means I'm probably wrong.
And the gold is
I'm with
stupid
you.
good for the initiative. I mean, there's no like,
Oh yeah.
it's like you have to deal one. Like
nine's
you don't
pretty
have to kneel any of your characters. It's not like it's 100% symmetrical, right? So it's
Right, you don't even have
4-9.
to have a military icon. You could just play it as a...
It's a filthy
Yeah.
with for characters with military icons, and there's almost always a character with a military
man.
icon, right? At
And,
least
like,
one.
If they were planning on marching, and they have 2 dudes, you have 1, and you're just like, now you have to march the other one. That's some good stuff.
Well,
Assuming only 1 has a military icon, right?
yeah, I mean, they can just keep the note one. It's not.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's true, but, that's really leaving them open for shit. I can go first and play Ramsey now.
I haven't played anything without Plaza of Pride in like, I don't know, 2 years. So I just assume I can stand stuff whenever I want.
All right, so
will.
spoilers: Sandy's playing Greyjoy Dragon at the Thrones War.
Oh yeah, nice slip there, Sandy.
Nice
Whoops.
there, Sandy. Giving away
Wait,
Chris
I haven't
Schoenthal
started
secret tech.
practicing. I
Uh-huh.
haven't started practicing yet. I'm just playing my Targ deck all the
Yeah,
time.
so the Sandy on the Iron Throne is some other Sandy out there.
Got it. That's always playing Greyjoy. Yeah, that's not him. That's somebody else. Somebody else.
All right. So
Slander
there's
and
one
lies.
one other card in here that hasn't
that
been
a
fully
card?
translated as far as I can see. But this is a Great John Umber, who is a 5/5 mill power non-loyal Bicon that has Intimidate and some ability that hasn't been fully translated that relates to a military challenge. So what do we think about a 5/5 Intimidate in Stark?
I'm translating it. Give me one
Oh.
sec.
Hold on.
Are you just using Google Translate?
The man with the Google shirt is Google
If
Translate.
anyone wants to read it in Spanish, I'll read it out loud to my wife. She'll tell us. what it means.
It's after you win a challenge in which Great John Umber is attacking. If there are fewer than 3 plot cards in your use pile, stand him.
Oh,
So it's not just
whoa.
military.
Wait,
Can you say 5 for 4 or
5 for
Five
5.
for 5.
5/5.
Oh.
does it say on attack?
Yeah.
Attacking.
All
Yeah.
attack.
Okay, good.
So I mean, so you get 2
That's
challenges
what
out
you
of
want to
it.
do, though. He's got to
Two
intimidate, right?
Two
Yeah.
Intimidate challenges, yeah. Well, if you could win on defense, so it's even better. But yeah, I get it.
Intimidate doesn't work on defense though.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
No. But like, if he's just gonna stand every time he wins a challenge,
Oh
you can
yeah,
go second
yeah.
defend with him. Then,
But I
still-
mean, the possibility of adding 5 strength to a military challenge and then adding 5 strength to a power challenge with Intimidate is really powerful.
Yeah.
Or particularly early, I think Intimidate is very, very powerful early. Like some Greyjoy players that drop Victarion on first turn are very frustrating to play against. So particularly if they have Plaza of Pride to stand Victarion.
is someone
so-
playing that? Who's Greyjoy in this chat?
So
Sandy, is that you?
So yeah, this is a really powerful card. It's definitely a card Stark wants and needs. So I'm yeah, 5 for 5. He's immune to a lot of nonsense. So doesn't
See,
die to
he-
venomous blade.
He's not no attachments or anything, right? He can take
No.
attachments.
No, he's not core and half hand good.
I think he's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the early advantage start cards, the like 3 or fewer plot cards in your use pile thing. I don't enjoy managing that.
But
But
it's never bad.
no, you're right, and that's what I'm getting to. He's never bad. 5 for 5 with Bicon Intimidate. Like, yeah, that's always going to be good, even if his ability's not on. And I like that. He just becomes really, really powerful if you fit him during that little window in the game. I like him a lot. He's one of the most exciting start characters I think we've seen in a long time. Is he the only start character with Intimidate besides a wolf? I think one
One
wolf
of the
has it, right?
2 of the wolves do. One of the wolves do.
2 of the
I think
wolves.
just
Yeah.
okay. So
And
maybe
this
a
was-
little
But he's the
Start
first
this-
good
Intimidate.
start card
Work.
that has Intimidate.
Really?
Yeah,
Greywin's
no.
not good?
Greywin?
Oh,
Oh,
Grey-
Greywin has
Greywind.
Intimidate. Oh, yeah.
Greywind's number 2. It's Greywind
just-
and then
yeah.
that other.
And
And
then
then the
a
other
Stark
wolf.
attachment as well that gives
Oh yeah,
Intimidate.
and Nymeria. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's pretty good
That's
start
true.
Conclave.
Ooh, we've got the
Yeah.
Intimidate sub theme working. All right, yeah. I dig it. I like it a lot.
I mean, I don't see why Stark or Intimidating. I'm definitely like. They're not
Martel
good enough
Wolf,
to
right?
intimidate.
Likes this card too.
Gee, I don't know why.
Ariane, I feel like dropping him in with like surprising
Dro-
someone who didn't play in the challenge.
Dropping him, Ramsey, even dropping Edmer is really good.
Martel Wolf, keep getting
Dropping.
good cards.
Yeah.
Martel Wolf, a deck that every
This
time
isn't
starts
legal
with a
for
good card
Thrones
gets
War,
better.
right? I don't have to deal with this crap.
No.
No,
Unless there's a
Martel
super
Wolf-
secret box drop at the beginning.
they'd have to have
of the month.
announced it this week. So
Oh,
Martel Wolf is just as is it? Okay. Why is Greywind brand stupid, SoCal Thrones?
stupid is a synonym for good here in SoCal. I'm sorry if your East Coast
Yeah, no, but-
mentality doesn't pick up on that, but
Why
that's-
is Greywind good with brand? I don't get it.
the brand, I'm assuming that's
Oh.
the new brand. I mean, he's good with both.
Oh,
brands.
the new brand.
Yeah,
right.
new
I'm
brand,
sitting there
obviously
Like,
new brand.
why does canceling events matter? I don't
No,
get
Dude,
it.
no,
new
You don't have to
brand
munch
has
him.
completely
You can munch.
replaced old brand. Like new
I will
brand
say-
is the brand to play.
Without
Yes.
Thrones DB, I have no idea what any cards do. I'm used to looking it up during the cast. Like, yeah, Greywind does something. He kills somebody, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's a high quality content you expect here for Second Sons. So I think those are the only cards that were spoiled over the time period between this episode and our last episode. But
So
we
I
can.
got a question.
Yep.
What's less Nedley? Martel Wolf, which they really love, or Greyjoy Stag, which they also really love.
Greyjoy
Like,
Stag.
which is
Greyjoy
less
Stag.
Nedley?
Raging
Greyjoy
Stag is
Stag.
less
Like
Nedley.
they're all
so
enemies.
much. It's like no, like
Yeah.
Baratheon and Greyjoy have been enemies for the entire history of the fiction. If you read the
fair, but like,
the-
but Stark and Martell are literally as far away from each other as you can get, and still be on the
Sure,
same
but they are allies,
Eddard
or would
fell
be
in
if they
love with
talked
a
to each other.
Martell, or at least a Martell.
Ashara Dane,
vassal.
Wait.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's a
Shard
connection.
Dane, there we go,
There's a
yeah.
connection. So
Ah, there you go. That's way better than the Robert, the rebellion against Robert
Yeah.
that Balon launched.
Eddard at the Tower of Joy, like there was some Martells there. I mean, yeah, he killed them, but
So
I mean,
I'm-
it's
Yeah.
but he had a grudging respect for all of them. So that respect breeds cooperation, I think.
I mean, Balon had a grudging respect for Robert by that same token.
Did he
After he
though?
got smashed in the face. After he got smashed in the
Maybe.
face. Okay, so after our thematic detour, very off topic for us, there was a big announcement. So following
another
up
question?
on the success of the Northeast Championship Tour announcement, the first stop is the first weekend in February in Boston. Sandy and I will both be there. Winds of Winter. Lots of fun. The Midwest guys got things together and announced a championship tour of their own. I think it's the Midwest Championship Circuit is the official, the MCC
If a circuit
MWCC or whatever.
If a circuit happens and the same 6 people go to all the tournaments and no one else does, is it really a circuit?
Well,
Yeah.
So
annoying
Midwest Thrones
Aaron
is
belittling
at
this
least as
accomplishment.
healthy. Is at least as healthy as East Coast Thrones. Considering how many tournaments have you been to, Aaron?
2 in the past couple months.
2, and then he's
Yeah.
coming to Storming, so we have
Yeah.
that's 3.
3.
Oh, that's 3. Oh, okay.
That's pretty good for Aaron, who went
Wow.
to one.
I can,
last.
well,
Or
the
two,
problem is
if you
the
include-
problem is I could only go to tournaments Roy goes to because I don't know any cards,
All right. So anyway, I go to a
and
lot
I'm
of-
going to war. So
He's
that's
going to
4
war, so there we
tournaments.
go. That's
That's
another
already.
big one. Anyway, enough about this. So this tournament lasts from Jesse's not Thrones War to
Thrones Watch.
Thrones Watch, a championship that they're holding at Origins this year, which is really exciting. And then there's stops down at Will's First Player Championship. There's the Thompsons are organizing one. I believe Brad is also organizing one in Ohio.
Well, Roy will definitely be at that one.
Anyway, it's a huge smashing success for them. I'm really glad that they announced it. I'm very proud of them. They put it together, I think, in a much shorter period of time than we did here in the Northeast. So I wish them a huge amount of luck. I hope to all be at Jesse's event, and maybe hopefully I'll be able to make it out to at least one other one, depending on how the summer shakes out. And Sid, though, I think because there was a challenge when Will and Chris announced this, and the credit definitely goes to Chris Thompson for being sort of the spearhead, but also Jesse and Will as well, and Booker and Brad. But Sid, there was a challenge that CT put in there to you losers over on the West Coast. What was that challenge, Sid?
He did. The challenge was for us to come up with a circuit as well, but what he didn't know is that the groundwork for such a thing had been laid long before his cute little circuit showed up in the middle of the country. So even though we don't have all the dates yet, I can announce all the cities and locations for the Western Circuit / Road to Kubla. And we waited until we got the kind of official designation as Road to Kubla, or as Kubla being a Road to Stalik event, which is going to fly the winner to Stalik every year. We wanted to get that kind of settled before we announced and started the circuit, just to be sure that we were sending people to something really worthwhile. So not beginning at this Kubla. This Kubla is just a straight Road to Stalik event, but beginning as soon as Kubla ends, we've got 7 other stops along a circuit, which will all provide buys to Kubla and kind of feed into that tournament next May. So after Kubla this year, people can look for tournaments coming up starting in the summer in Portland, 2 in the SF Bay Area, 2 in San Diego, in Las Vegas, and in Houston. So that'll be, and the 8th spot along that tour will finish up in KublaCon. So 8 total tournaments, including the culminating tournament at Kubla. So check. Sandy,
is Houston part of the West Coast now? Is that what's going on?
Why not? I mean, when you're creating these divisions,
and
it's the Western Circuit. We can adopt Texas. Why not? You know what? They didn't get snagged up by the Midwest, so we're going to claim them. We're going to get the Lone Star State and have them join the West.
Can you confirm or deny rumors that this Houston tournament will be on a boat?
I can neither confirm nor deny, but I would say the rumors have merit that this could be the first ever actual Thrones tournament at sea. The rumblings are getting louder in that regard, but I'm not at liberty to make any announcements at this time. But it's an exciting thing.
Can I just give extra props to Sid for throwing shade at the Midwest? Because usually that's my job on this cast. And welcome to my partner in bicoastal hatred of the middle.
Right. Well, I do resent their framing of their patchwork circuit as a kind of shots fired at the West Coast. We've been laying the groundwork for amazing community events for years, and we're just, they beat us to the announcement. Fine.
You guys have a broad range of players. All like you have Northern California and you have Southern California. Come on.
And
at least
Oregon.
Those are real places.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there's things there. Like people go on vacation there for reasons that aren't just cards. Like I'm going to an
Wait,
Ohio
are you saying that
tournament.
people don't want to go to Jesse's Town for reasons that aren't cards?
As someone going to Jesse's Town, I'm excited to go there, but I am a little frustrated.
I'm the only one that has been there.
It's not easy to get there from California. I will say that. It's not easy.
It's not easy to get there at all.
Thankfully, Jesse is paying for me to go, though, so I'm not going to complain about how hard it is. But I think it's going to mean I have to sleep at SFO for a night just to get there. Yeah, that's how backwards it is. But I am kind of excited to announce also that we're going to be doing kind of an incentive to go to each stop along the way. We're going to do a special 1/8 of a full set of a prize. Either we're thinking maybe house cards, but maybe something different, so that if you attend every single tournament in the Western Circuit, you're going to be able to complete a set of if not house cards, something maybe even more special that we're working on right now with the organizers of those tournaments. So it's going to be fun, but it's not going to kick off until after May. So if you come to Kubla,
who had that idea that you should
one
do
more
like
selling
a
point?
set of cards that you can collect if you go to each stop of the tour?
Roy, no one's even bothering to shit talk the New York.
These ideas are just in the air, Roy. They're in the air, and you grab them and you run with them.
Sure.
Hey, can I speak well of the Western tournament? Another point of it, and ahead of the Midwest, is you're a lot less likely to spend your weekend with a bunch of Trump voters than if you go to the Midwest ones. So, like, that's definitely a major plus too.
All right.
As a
well,
European,
we're
that's a big selling point.
To be fair,
big
I do enjoy getting drunk and picking fights with them, which usually happens after tournaments anyway.
fun times.
Here's why your policies are corrupt, and then we just go for it. It'll be fun.
Fun. All right. So transitioning. I feel like we had one other thing. No, we didn't have anything else in news, right? So, Glazer.
What do you want to do? Top 5 cards?
Why don't we do top 5 cards?
All right, I didn't want to put it on the list because everything else is in-house. So let's talk Withering Cold first. What do we think? Do we like Withering Cold?
Yeah, I like Withering Cold.
Where do you like Withering Cold?
Where do I like Withering Cold? Obviously, I like it in a Neil deck. I don't think there's any great Neil decks right now. I think there's good Neil decks, and this could have a place. It's just the stats are kind of incredible on it. Really, really incredible on it. And like skipping the standing phase, we haven't seen kind of how that'll play out in 2.0 yet. It's going to take some time, but man, the stats are freaking crazy good for a winter plot. It's 5-6-1, right? And what's the reserve?
6.
5-6.
Yeah.
5-6-1 6 winter plot. Like I almost don't care what the ability is, and the ability has the potential to be insanely strong, in the right deck. So I'm excited to start playing it. Yeah, I like it. I think it's awesome.
So you think it goes in Barra? Where else do we think it goes? Anyone else?
Targ. I mean, any stand deck and any non-kneeling deck. There are tons of like Brotherhood decks that could use this with Crow Killers and similar stuff.
Lannister, Harrenhal stuff.
Yep. I think
crossing non-kneeling stuff. Like
yeah, the Night's Watch
Lanny
crossing
Dragon
thing should work well.
So, I keep struggling with this. Does Martel want it? Because I feel like Martel sort of likes it just for the fucking stats.
We need to skip this segment right now and go to the next segment.
All right. So Martel Winter is Buzz's war deck.
Martel likes it. Yeah, I think they do.
There are definitely builds out of Martel that does likes it. Dragon is the most obvious one, right?
Yeah.
Plaza. And they abuse Flea Bottom more than anyone else, and Flea Bottom doesn't care about this.
Likes getting people standing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I feel like what makes Withering Cold so strong is you can make a case for it in I think every faction. Like there are builds that you can play it in every faction, right? Is there a single faction that you can't think of at least some, not even just corner case use, but some really solid use if you build around, which is I think really good.
Brotherhood, so I guess so.
Brotherhood and Stark has enough.
Well, no,
stand.
I don't think 90%.
Well, I'm just going through the fact.
I don't think 90% of Night's Watch builds really can do anything with it.
But there's still definitely. I mean, you guys mentioned there's like a Rangers build that really tries to abuse some of the new non-kneeling tech that they have.
Poor Jon Snow is real.
Or just box Jon Snow is good with this card.
No, core Jon Snow. It's +6 strength in every challenge, man. Do it.
I
4 strength, I think.
It's 4 strength. He's draggable.
Hey, could you drag him just even if he's not really in the challenge? That's hilarious.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that any reset deck can do stuff with this. So you stall for a turn, and all of those characters can't be used next turn. So you don't have to put as much resources into defending challenges the next turn, and you put down barriers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a plot limit on this one, or can you run 2?
1. There's plot limit 1.
Which is very good.
It's pretty much you go cold into cold. Like,
all right, fair enough.
This also makes Gates of the Moon way the fuck better.
Because it's non-kneeling economy. Because this can definitely be a choke card as well.
Yeah.
I think there might be something with Intimidate, Greyjoy, Choke, or like whatever. Because if you can kneel people even without like dedicated Baron kneel, just like intimidating people, it's not bad.
I mean,
it would be good with it could be good with the Great John Umber and his 2 challenges with Intimidate. One time he stands, boom.
Or Sir Barristan Selmy and his fuck you, I stand for everything.
The stats
Yeah.
are just nuts. Like a powerful winter card is supposed to have weak gold and crappy reserve and barely any initiative, and it's got great stats.
Everything.
On
I
all
mean,
three of those
in
categories.
fairness,
It's nuts.
in fairness, that's dumb. Because every summer card has a crazy effect, all the fucking gold, and like everything else you want. So like, why can't?
Yeah,
No,
I mean-
some of them have like bad effects, like your opponent draws a card every time you win a
Oh
challenge.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's some drawbacks.
Time of Plenty
There's
is a
some drawback
terrible
cards.
card. No one
No,
plays
no,
that
no.
card.
Like,
No,
like,
I was talking
World
about
Championship
Feast.
decks-
Feast.
Oh,
Feast.
Feast. Oh yeah, Feast has a legit drawback.
Yeah.
Also, no one plays that card. Oh wait, it'd be nice if we had just a reasonable opener that we all just ran and we're like, leave us alone. You built the game around economy. You're bullies.
Isn't that kind of what Time of Plenty is? Isn't that like the
Yeah, I
safest
guess. Yeah.
opening?
It's not Summer Harvest or whatever. I see
No.
that all the time on Iron Throne. It's so
Yeah.
annoying.
I don't care about Summer Harvest in a real tournament will screw you by the end, right?
At least
Yeah.
once.
Mhm.
At least
And
once.
you know that one's seems likely to be in the cut if you make it that far.
Well,
which is
I was
sad.
like, trade routes is everywhere now, and I was thinking it's even less of a good idea to play that plot with trade routes everywhere, because
Who
right? It'll
opens
just give
trade
you the
routes?
yeah,
not
because-
opening, just at any time. People, you know what people open all the time is coppers, and that's also a terrible thing to get hit with.
someone played naval on my whatever it's called, harvest, and I was very sad. I was like, well, I have 4 gold. You didn't hit, but you really hit.
But you did hit, yeah. It's still a hit. It's still a hit.
I hate harvest, but I feel like in Martell I so badly want to go second turn 1 to get my tempo going that like I'm just like, does something have 4 initiative? Anything? That's why
Yeah.
I might like the stupid 4-9-1. I'm not even kidding. Go second, make sure they're stalled out for a turn, kneel them out, and be like,
Doesn't that? Yeah, I mean, you have to. I guess it's not unreasonable that you set up a bastard daughter.
yeah, no, or
That's
a
actually-
house day knight or whatever, right?
Well, I mean, you don't have to set up anything. They have to set up a military icon, and then it
Yeah.
works.
And if
So,
they
like,
don't
you don't
set
have
the
to do
military icon, you play a different opener, and then you do that later, and it's still a really good stall, slow the game down.
But it can definitely be good for people like set up. I'm just on a very great kick. Set up Balon or set up what's his face, Victorian. So
I mean, literally every
all the Greyjoy
card,
cards that are good,
but the
basically.
reader.
But the reader, yeah. Alrighty. So Aaron, let's go to top 5, starting with the 5th best.
I cut Laughing Lord, so Darkstar. Darkstar is way the fuck better than I thought he was going to be. Like, if he's on the board, you're immediately like, oh my god, I'd almost rather Martell just go second so I actually have icons.
Right.
You want me to just go through all of them?
No, I mean, does
Yeah,
anyone
so-
disagree that this is the 5th best? I mean,
What do you
He's
think?
really
What does
good.
Darkstar do? He removes an icon when you stealth by somebody.
bypass with stealth, yeah. And
And I
5
can have
for
choice.
5 for
5
4.
for 4. Millen.
Yeah, I've been playing against like random icon removal bullshit, and it's super annoying.
It is very annoying.
He's very solid. Yeah.
Yeah. And at
Yeah.
5 cost, he's a really good cost for his effect.
I think
Yeah, I like
I think the icon removal has like kind of hit a critical threshold where it's not just like a toy. I think you can get very powerful effects with it now. So yeah, I would agree. I don't. Let's hear the other 4 that beat him, but I think he's a solid card.
Number 4 is the Skaza Hajabata, don't make me say it.
No, that card's garbage.
Unpronounceable
That
Targ
card
card
is
of
totally
Hag.
not garbage. That card is
You
so
should
good.
try playing Targ once. The card is garbage.
I have. It's real good.
No.
You have to build. You
It's
have to
not.
build differently for it, but it's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you run 3 Beggar Kings and double counting coppers and like 2 gold plots, maybe because
Yeah.
you need the draw, and
Yeah.
I don't think that deck is very good. I'd
I-
rather use the space on better cards.
So, if Greyjoy will keep this down for the time being, but eventually Greyjoy will cycle out because eventually everything cycles out, or Greyjoy will see a downswing. Like the instant that happens, like you can totally run that deck and just cut economy, and that's like going to be one of the best like power control decks you can make. Because if you're just getting 2 or 3 gold a turn, you don't care.
Yeah, but
I agree.
It's econ that you can control, right? It's not limited. You can freeze it. You can destroy it easily. And you're not going to get anything out of it the turn you play it, right? Because it's when you flip
it's
a plot.
always an HRD location.
It's a tempo
right?
hit.
Yeah, if you play it, you're playing it in HRD, so you're getting a turn.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I would rather like HRD something good.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's
Or not
in a
play HRD.
summer. I guess you play summer plots and you get 3 gold a turn out of it in HRD. That's not bad. That's not bad.
You have to discard a card.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Sandy,
that's ridiculous.
Dude, people play
Sandy,
Old Forest Hunter for 1 gold. Like they'll play. This is all right.
Out of Night's Watch.
Out of Night's Watch, yeah, exactly. That's totally different.
Sandy, you discard a card a turn with Targ anyway.
I discard 1 card a turn. I don't want to be discarding 2 or 3.
Exactly.
Or
I mean,
4.
Even now with Consuming Flames, it's reaching that situation where you're like, how many cards do I need to have in my hand exactly to do stuff? I mean,
so let's treat this. If we're looking at this like from
right now, it will.
Oh well, okay, yes, when draw is plentiful, but I think like you have to optimize on the secondary constraint. Like there's cards that you put in that are economy cards, great, and you can maybe reduce those if you have HRD big S. But if you
Sandy,
the other thing that you have to think about though, you have a limited number of effects that you can play by discarding a card as a cost. So you already have Quotho, you already have Consuming Flames, you already have Plaza of Pride, and those are all really good. So like you can't play all of them. It's a balancing mechanic. And I think that right now it's probably the worst of those 3.
Yeah, the other 3 are completely bonkers and nearly broken. So yes, I agree. It is definitely the worst of those. However, I still think that it is going to be fairly assuming Flea Bottom sticks around. I think we're going to get enough draw that I'm just not going to care.
I mean, if Targ had a card like Asha, I would do that.
Like
I'd run that out of that.
I mean, like no one ever ran it, but I tested it for a while. Like when it was first released. The stupid Frey Lordling with the stupid 0-cost event is really good.
What?
The
0-cost event.
in English, please.
The draw event. That's
Dragon's Tail?
I can't look up.
No. Funeral
Dragon's Tail?
Pyre.
Funeral Pyre. Thank you.
Then
Oh.
kneel
I
your
can't-
faction
I couldn't
card
look it up.
after a lord or lady dies. Draw 3 cards.
Right.
Like it's really easy draw with the Frey Lordling.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's
you're
still
gonna-
2 cards you're trading though to get 1 to net 1.
I mean, you're not just killing the card; it's still a good card, right? Like it's not like that card just sits there doing nothing until then.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't.
I mean,
Okay,
maybe
next
there's a doc there, but
The real problem,
he's
the
not
fundamental issue, with this card is that Targ is so good right now that you can literally throw together any 60 cards that have 3
Yeah,
second
that's fair.
suns, 3 Flea Bottoms, and 3 Plaza of Prides, and probably go like 4 and 2. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, but the one thing that I disagree with, I think Sandy and Buzz here, though, is I actually don't think you can have too many discarding effects as long as Targ continues to have ways to leverage its discard pile. So, like, if it currently has Flea Bottom and then it has currently 6 cards that it wants to see
And
at a
Friedman.
minimum. Yeah, 6. So 3 Second Sons and 3 Freedmen, right? That it wants to see in the discard pile, right?
Well, and it really doesn't mind that recent little mercenary.
Stone Girl.
Stormcrows. Yeah.
The
Stormcrows. The discard
So okay,
pile.
we could say that we've got 9 that you don't mind seeing in your discard pile. Then you like one of the handmaidens, the bestow one is really good to have in your discard pile. So now we're up to what, 10 cards in your deck that you want in your discard pile, or at least don't hate having in your discard pile, and then having powerful effects that you fuel by putting those cards in your discard pile. Just it creates this wonderfully beautiful broken feedback loop, right? That is one of the things that's keeping Targ in the meta, right? Because it's really like the thing that, as I've been testing for Thrones War and playing Night's Watch, is a lot of factions could do a lot of really fucking unfair things, and Targ's
leads the pack.
leads the pack, and it has a lot to do with that like discard loop. And obviously it can backfire, and there's cases where you have consuming flames and that's the only card in your hand. But more often than not, you have this powerful synergy that is really powerful, and this gives you another way to seed that discard pile and things like that.
I agree. I agree with that aspect of it. I just think that because other than Friedman, which I don't play, and maybe I should start, you can only get one card out at a time every round. And that's really the bottleneck. So like even if you have all these great cards in your discard pile, you all it does is increase. Like you can either get a Handmaiden or Second Sons or like an Eerie. There's no like your bottleneck there. But that being said, I do think people ask, how do you beat Targ? I'll tell you how to beat Targ. Run 3 Isle of Ravens. If they can't get Flea Bottom and they can't do like their stupid bullshit, they're not a great faction.
Except for all the burn and shit.
Yeah, the burn
is fine. Like the burn is fine.
Flea Bottom is what's putting Targ on the top right now. It definitely is. They're best at seeding. They're the best targets for it as well.
Mm-hmm. And I also think it gives them that extra oomph, right? You can like one of Targ's problems, at least I think before Flea Bottom, is Targ could burn all your shit to the ground and then not always be able to do anything. And now it can burn all your shit to the ground and then do things. Pay 1 gold to get a 6 strength icon.
It's just I feel like just ignoring Danny and Dragons and like there's enough shit there at this point that like you're probably fine.
Yeah. And Targ used to be a higher like onboard synergy faction than it is now, right? So if you could fuck up their Danny and Targ or their Danny and Dragon game plan, you could usually beat Targ. And now Danny and the Dragons are kind of like icing on the cake that like closes games versus like your primary strategy. It's almost like I've been testing for Thrones 4.
In my Stalek deck, I played exclusively for the Flea Bottom things. Did not play Dragons. I did not play Burn. I did not play Danny. I only played the kill stuff. Miri and Khal Drogo, and Flea Bottom, and ways to get Flea Bottom. The deck was all about getting Flea Bottom, right? And
hey, how'd you do?
I did 5-0 and then 5-3.
5-3, still very good in Stalek. I mean, but like Red Saturday, right? Both of the decks that ended up at the finals were about leveraging Free Bottom. The deck that John and Matt built was even more about like that Targ synergy that didn't even run Drac. And then James's deck was even more like traditionally
James's deck was Sandy's deck, except crossing.
No, it was a good crossing deck. I think John and Matt's deck were like kind of troll crossing decks. They actually proved my point about just put 60 cards that are like half Flea Bottom and you're fine. And like, just don't be a shitty player.
And a pair of decent players, yeah. All right. Yeah, so next card.
Yeah, what's next?
Aaron.
Sorry. I was being annoyed at something. Ramsey Snow is next.
He's real good.
So good.
Oh yeah.
I think I put him higher. It's a real good
but
card.
You see what number 1 and 2 are, you're gonna be like,
I saw what number 1 is. I don't know if it should be number 1, but we'll see.
Number 1's not Asha. Why are we having this conversation?
It's number 2.
Somebody should start playing a game.
It's number 2 because Asha is great in decks, and the other one makes a deck type.
Okay.
We'll get there.
All right. Anyway,
I tend to put things that make decks higher than things that just go in.
Disagree on Ramsey? Do we? Because we spoiled Ramsey again, proving we're the best podcast.
Ramsey is silly good. I didn't realize he sacrificed your opponents until I tried it, and then I was like, oh look, all your dupes are gone. Bye.
Yeah.
It was especially really felt great
Ramsey,
when
he's
the
apparently
opponent
broken on Iron Throne right now, though, with Arion. Like, the interaction is not correct. So apparently right now on Iron Throne, you can put him in with Arion and then sacrifice Arion, and instead of going to the discard pile, which is where Arion should go, she goes back to your hand.
Oh, well, that's definitely
which is not. So
wait.
the way.
Oh, I see. Because it's a competing effect.
So Arion puts the character to play first, which triggers the forced reaction, and then she's still technically in play, and then you could sacrifice
you can do
her
that?
if you wanted. Well, no,
Yeah.
you can't. Yes, you could sacrifice Ariane if you wanted to, but you can't. Like the way the interaction works on Iron Throne right now, she goes back to your hand if you sacrifice her, which is not what would happen.
I
you-
consistently
But
just
you are
sack it.
able to discard Ariane. I didn't know that actually.
Yes,
I
yeah,
don't.
because
I don't think you are. Isn't it a reaction
Shouldn't it-
when he enters play?
No,
It's a
force
force
it's a
reaction.
forced reaction. So it
No,
comes
when
first.
Ramsey enters play, it's a forced reaction.
Yes, it says when Ramsey enters play, it's a forced reaction.
Ariane is put a
So
character
you
into
put
play
the
from your
character into
hand.
play and then
And-
return Ariane, right?
Yeah.
That's why when you cancel
Yeah.
her, she stays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then Ramsey comes into play, forced reactions, right? They trigger before anything else in the game, right? And then Ariane's effect would resolve, right?
That's cool.
I see. Okay.
I mean, the rules lawyers, Colin, Alex Hines, can yell at me and say that she should be in your hand before the force reaction triggers. But either way, Iron Throne is currently broken with her, is what I'm trying to say.
I didn't know this, and I still love him. He's so good.
I'm
He's
unconvinced.
phenomenal. Yeah,
I
mean-
am super
I mean,
convinced,
three houses.
he's-
having
he's-
played against Martel Wolf and totally not played
Martel
He's
Wolf,
just-
Night's Watch Wolf, Lanny Wolf.
He
Oh,
is
I guess out of Banner, because I was
Yeah.
thinking compared to North Remembers, he's like all right.
Oh no, he's really good. Like North remembers, they end up just sacking a location 3/4 of the time, and you're like, I'm a little sad.
He's worse in Stark main house. He's still good, but he's worse.
Yeah.
But as
Yeah.
a banner card for these faction that loves the Wolf package, they will love this guy. Any
Stark
deck
doesn't
that
have
is
a lot of
currently
cool ways to
playing Ward,
cheat him in like the other houses do,
Yeah,
right? Like you can kind
exactly.
of cheat him in out of the others.
Mhm.
we're finally gonna
Reinforcements.
break what's it called? As Hard as Winter. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I like that
What is that?
event.
What
I
does
can't
that
make
do?
it work.
That's the
It's-
one when
if
you
you-
seed a winter plot in your use pile, and then when a character is killed, you can or sacrificed, you can return it to your hand to put into play a
No,
character.
you don't return
below.
to it. It still dies, right?
It still dies?
Yeah.
It still
Oh, if you
dies,
put
and
into
then
play a character of equal to or lower printed cost, right?
that's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've said for a long
Why
time,
Stark's
this is
so
the
bad?
deck
They
that I
have so many
love
good cards.
most in Stark, and
'Cause
I
they-
need
'cause
to
they
break
don't-
it.
They just don't quite synergize yet.
Yeah.
They're
He just
waiting
came out a
for
week
some-
ago too, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're,
all right.
they're getting there. Right.
So
Number-
speaking with a card that people haven't figured out entirely yet, because
Number 2 is completely broken. It's the card that puts Greyjoy right there with targets Asha.
Yes.
That card
Asha
is
is super
ridiculous.
strong. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Getting
Like
three
she-
counters with Asha in a turn is stupid.
Yeah.
It is stupid.
I played against her for the first time recently, and I was like, wait, so he can just go look for We Do Not Sow whenever? Fuck me.
It's all the saves that kill me. It's just like,
It's
all right,
so-
oh,
yeah,
look, you
sure.
have all your saves. That's great.
you don't even reveal the card, right? That you just add
Nope.
to your
No.
hand.
Nope.
You just
No,
take.
why reveal? Take whatever you want.
My,
Yeah.
my favorite thing is to go fetch like a 4-cost character so I can discard it to Plaza at a standard. Like, I don't have it in my hand, but maybe I'll find one. Who knows?
So I do have a bit of advice out there for random Greyjoy players in Iron Throne. You haven't figured out that you should readjust your deck's curve now that you're running like 1,000,000 6 and 7 cost characters. And the amount of games I've played where a Greyjoy player has just Asha as her only character after a Valor Dohaeris turn, that's 4 by my counting so far. And I think right now the card is held back a little bit because Greyjoy decks. Now, I'm not talking about Thrones War decks being tested by some of the best players, but your average Greyjoy deck hasn't figured out how to adjust their curve so that it's not so greedy that it makes it really vulnerable to decks that are trying to prey on, that go under this 7-cost Greyjoy bullshit onslaught. So that's my advice to
Coincidentally-
your random Greyjoy players on the Iron Throne.
Coincidentally, Theon costs 3 and combos
He
really
does.
well.
He does combo really well with her.
It gives
I
you
have just
kind of
Asha
a
and
reason
Theon.
Dude,
to
Martell
trigger
is so
the
well
readers.
placed.
The readers often not trigger. I mean, I guess with Corpse Like Now you get the reader triggering the discard, but I played against a guy who by like plot 3 he was searching like 12 cards every time she was winning. Like, God damn it, he was searching through most of his deck for whatever he wanted. It was pissing me off.
It actually is
hard
kind of
to get.
annoying.
And then you
I have
lost.
to worry about reserve now.
No, I still won
That's,
because
that's so
I'm good,
weird.
but it was annoying.
All right, number 1 is not as good as Asha, but it is a full deck type card, so I like to put it above King's Moot.
Mm, Number
Kingsmoot,
one?
Kingsmoot real low.
Notice Sandy suddenly gets quiet about Kingsmoot.
I have no opinion on this deck or its cards.
Kingsmoot
Like, I
is
just-
really fucking stupid. It's not what the game needs at all.
I just don't see why like regular Greyjoy decks don't run it. It's like, by the way, it's dominance and I won.
Yeah.
Like, it's so dumb.
Because I mean, it's like, hold on. So you're saying that if you have a bunch of like 5, 6, 7 cost high strength characters that are unique, and you just don't do any challenges with them, and then you just say pass challenges, and then you play this.
No.
You just
You
claim
can do
5 power.
You can
I'm
do
just saying-
challenges because
That's true.
fucking Balon stands.
Plus one more for winning dominance. I mean,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you have like Asha, Balon, Theon, and Euron
Dampere.
in play.
Dampere.
Okay, Dampere. We'll do 5.
I mean,
Right?
play some cheapies, play some Wex Pike. I mean, just like go for it. What are you waiting for?
And then it's just
Yeah.
look, I have 7 power.
Play the
at
plot
this
where you
round.
get 2 when you win dominance. That's 3 right there. Plus, I mean, you can just drop 10 with this plot, like no problem. It's stupid.
I will say this.
Stupid.
This is the answer to Roy's like, oh, your curve is too high, whatever.
Yeah.
Aeron Dampere costs 3. Wax costs
Two.
2, 3,
2.
something like that.
2.
Yeah,
2.
Theon costs 3. All unique. You just run one big character and Naga's ribs. You're going to win dominance. You get the 2 gold, and that's 4 more power. And if you can't win with 4 power, like I don't know, you were too far behind. I don't
and
think.
you can, but Sandy, don't forget,
Is this
power goes on your house. So, but you can also play those acolytes and then Valor the next turn, and win then.
right.
There you go.
Wait,
That's
the
thing.
power goes on your house for Kingsmoot?
No, it goes on the
that's-
character.
No, each
It goes
character.
on the
Each
character.
character's character.
You just have to have 800 saves. But you probably won the game when you played it, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah,
and you're
you're
playing
gonna
Greyjoy,
play-
so you do have 100 saves.
Well, the interrupts also trigger in the order, right? So you get to decide. And as long as you hit 15 power before all the characters leave,
Okay.
play.
My basic
can still
assumption
win.
is Greyjoy wins Throne War on the back of Asha and Kingsmoot. Like, it's the exact moment for them to win Throne War. Like, it's just like, what do you do to stop that? Like, what is your plan to stop that?
I think Martell has some answers.
Yeah, Martell has actually a lot of answers. Martell is really fucking well positioned.
Martell
But like
is
everyone,
so badly positioned in this meta right now. I am not sure how we're gonna actually get a win at all. I don't know what you're talking
Stop
about.
it.
okay.
Stop.
Yeah. I also think
Sandbag and all
Tyrell
the
can
way.
just out bullshit Greyjoy.
Oh, yeah. I
Uh,
mean, this card is stupid, but Mace.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious when people try to play that House of Dreams Bitter Bridge deck versus Greyjoy. It's like, oh, you put your 7 cost character in, so will I. Oh, you have another one, so do I. Oh, I have another one, and another 6 cost. Like I have 5 written on the board now too, and I can play all my locations. I don't think Tyrell can out bullshit
2
Greyjoy.
greedy ass decks play each other. It's like the most depressing thing.
It
around.
depends how quickly they get Mace. Mace can outpace Greyjoy if you see him right away.
Yeah, but Greyjoy can reset a board better than
Yeah.
Tyrell can. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greyjoy can.
Yeah,
it depends.
I know. Yeah, little
That
Margie is
stupid
fun. but-
that stupid Marge Varys thing is really fucking obnoxious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Varys can be really annoying for the greedy Greyjoy decks.
Yeah.
That's true. There's
Yes.
saves me.
But Bitterbridge doesn't play him, right? So
Yeah, Betterbridge plays him.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, they do. They play him with Big Marge. You definitely play him
Mm.
because you're getting power on.
What you do is you put Oathkeeper. You have that cheeky 1x
Oh.
Oathkeeper, and
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I don't see why.
if you see Old Town and Mace early, I think you can out bullshit a Greyjoy deck.
yeah,
But we'll
it's-
see. I mean,
well,
I don't know.
and
We'll see.
and the fucking Informer where you draw 800 cards. God, dude, was that card a bad fucking decision if they were gonna print Mason Highguard? And what the fuck idea was that? It's like, let's just give them all the draw every.
Hey,
fucking
This
round.
is deck number 2 on Roy's list of decks that do really unfair
You mean High
things.
Tower, by the way.
yeah,
not
just-
Highgarden.
whatever. I always call it Highgarden.
Stealing High Tower, by the way, is hilarious as Greyjoy. In fact, stealing any of those Tyrell locations just makes me feel great inside.
Well, except Hightower, right? And you prevent them from having it, but you're like, I can't use this at all.
Isn't it?
It's character.
Oh, yeah.
not-
Yeah.
So you're not stealing. I mean, unless you're playing Greyjoy Wolf.
Oh,
Just to beat
Oh.
Tyrell.
Just to retire. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So Why don't we? Aaron and I will be appearing on the next White Book episode, and you'll get to hear our opinions about this pack. So, Buzz, Sid, and Sandy, overall thoughts about the Kingsmoot, particularly with an eye on going into Thrones War.
As the pack on the whole.
On the whole,
I think almost everyone got something here that they can use. Well, maybe not everyone. But I think Martell, Greyjoy, Stark, even Night's Watch got a cool card. I think Tom of Seven Strings is actually kind of neat. Not a top 5 card, but neat since we've already seen a lot of Song decks floating around. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good pack for maybe only about half the teams actually are happy to see this pack. But some of them, like Greyjoy, are extremely happy to see this pack. But I mean, I'm as a Team Night's Watcher, I'll give a shout out to Haunted Forest Scout. I knew he wouldn't make top 5, but I think he's awesome. Like so awesome, and great for playing a different kind of Night's Watch. Like great for that, which is something we need. Like non-kneeling is awesome. Like he's really good at 2 cost. I'm stoked to play him.
So I fully expect like God. Has any house, maybe Night's Watch with the Haunted Forest and the guy who becomes a Tricon. Haunted Forest. What is that called? Little Night's Watch who becomes Tricon.
Haunted Forest.
Shadow Tower Mason.
Shadow Tower
there you
Mason
go.
and
Yeah,
Haunted
that guy.
Forest.
I
Thank
play
you.
a lot of Night's Watch.
That to me was the gold standard for shit houses get in one pack. But like Asha and Kingsmoot might be the best one house has ever gotten in a pack.
Didn't Targ got 2 cards in the same pack? That were
Yeah,
pretty
but one of
ridiculous,
them was Grey Worm, so it sort of fell apart.
He had
Like,
so much
Rick-
promise, didn't he?
He's
you
still
never
good.
see him.
He's still good.
See,
He's just
but you
like-
never
You
see. I
guys
never
are-
see him. I never see Grey Worm.
yeah.
Oh,
It's because- No. Well, I can tell you why people don't play him. It's because you don't want to pay more than like 3 for any Targ character unless it's Danny or Coco. I guess recently Daria.
Or Miri,
Like-
right? Yeah.
Nah, I no people that play Miri are bad.
Ooh, Buzz.
Ooh, Buzz's Martell Dragon.
I did not. Mortal Dragon. Why would they play Miri? But my Targ deck did play 3x Miri, but it was not a regular Targ deck. It was a Buzz Targ deck. So
Yeah, why would Martell Dragon play?
Oh God, that's mean.
I had a Martell Dragon deck that played Miri. It used Tyene and Miri and just did challenges to try and kill people. It was incredibly bad.
Yeah. I mean, whatchamacallit had a deck that was good at that. The Brotherhood did.
Yeah.
that one didn't play Miri, I think. Pretty sure.
I don't remember anymore, to be honest. Although I'm pretty sure you have the deck, so you would know.
Maybe.
All right. Yeah, great. I don't like Squall, Griever, Lionheart says Dario and Grey were my best buds in Targ Reigns, and like, I know people think Targ Reigns is a thing. I don't think Targ Reigns is a thing.
Targrains
Do you
is a
get-
thing.
I don't. I want it to be good, and I
I mean, I think we're going to see
I
people.
don't think
playing
it's as
it in a
good as
couple of
other
weeks.
Targ.
It's only good in melee.
It's
Because you get the +1
third-
strength, so you can
well,
use
technically-
Yeah.
tied for second. No, you can use
no,
the-
we
you
don't.
can
You
use
don't tie for
the,
second. You tie for third. You tie
Oh,
for your
whatever.
lower placement. So,
Roy is still bitter.
I am still bitter.
But I don't think I agree that Targ Reigns is probably not great.
It'll probably
It's
see play. It's good enough to see
fine.
play in Thrones War though.
Yeah,
Did well at
I mean, when you have to run
I
12
like the deck.
people, 12 people, yeah, like
but I mean,
not
I guess
everybody
what
can
I'm
play
saying is-
fealty and HOD punishment, like
Or
So-
crossing, or I mean,
Gang
that's-
crossing. So
that's 12
I actually
decks.
think, but like that's the point. Yeah, all the Targ decks are pretty equally good. I don't think Targ Reigns has a higher win rate than Targ Fealty. I don't think it has a higher win rate than Targ Crossing.
Yeah,
and those are the
exactly.
two that you
well, it didn't
just
win War.
play instead.
It did well at Worlds though, so
Yeah.
But
Yes.
It's,
I don't know,
I think it's great.
it's a
I
good
think it's
deck.
probably
It's a
look. I
tier
think it's. I
1.5
think
deck in a
Targ
faction that
needs
has
how
like
many
two
decks for
other
Thrones
tier
War?
1
You need
decks.
4 decks, right? Like
it's one of the top
someone
10
will
decks in the
probably
game.
play it.
Just compared to other Targ, it's just like
A top 10
like
deck.
it's probably one of the top 10 decks in the game. But like
Maybe
Targ
after
has at
Thrones War,
least
we should
2 or
do
3
what are
better
the
decks.
top 10 decks in the game.
Oh, that sounds like a fun episode. Yeah,
That sounds like a fun episode, but nobody will do it honestly.
It's like
while-
5
before
Targ
Thrones War
decks,
comes
3 Martell decks, and well, 1 Tyrell deck.
1 Greyjoy, 1
and
Tyrell.
then 2 Greyjoy. Yeah, it's like that's fine.
You think 3 Martell though? I think
Yeah, I think at
All
least
right,
Martell
all
Wolf.
both
and what
Martell
else?
Fealty. Fealty is really
3
good.
Martell. What do you think, Buzz? Are 3 Martell decks top 10 decks in the world?
Top 10?
I lost.
It's a question for you.
Maybe.
I think
Oh.
Martell's problem in Thrones War, right, is Martell has to beat every faction. And
Really? Why is that a problem?
No, they just need to beat most of them, which
Yeah.
they
Well,
do.
but
I
has to
lost.
keep in mind every faction when in.
No, they don't.
looking at
You just play what you
standard decks.
you just play what you pay. They can beat Targ. They can beat they beat the fuck out of Stark. Trust me.
And
They
I-
like
and-
they
and
struggle
issue-
occasionally with Greyjoy and some Watch, and they beat everything else. That's fine.
What? I don't.
They don't.
Yeah,
I
Night
think.
plus Wolf. Yeah.
I think they beat Greyjoy unless the Greyjoy player. Like I beat a Martell deck today by not doing challenges for 2 rounds so that he couldn't get bone weight tokens.
Oh man,
Like-
you know what beats the shit out of Martell? Barra.
Barra, Night's Watch. That's the issue with Martell. It definitely have so bad matchups. I mean, there are some matchups that are just so close to 0%.
I'm a
The Barra has these
firm-
2 annoying builds that are floating around that are just going to win a lot at war. Because unless you tech for them, it's just like they won. Look at that. You can't
also
tech for them at war.
I think Buzz is lying when
Yeah.
he says he thinks that Watch, as an overall faction, has a good matchup against Martell.
What?
Oh, I don't think so. Why would they not?
Like
you
Night-
just play
Night's
defense
Watch
and win.
dis-
Well,
Then
yeah,
it's
what does
Blaze
Martell really
Martell.
do against them?
That's
Venom
it,
Blade
then
hurts
what
does
Night's Watch
Martell
a
do?
lot.
Does it?
They
Okay.
They
get
blade.
fucked.
They blade a lot.
they played
Yeah.
a lot.
They
Okay,
well, okay. So Martell needs to find this card that you play sometimes 3 of, not always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
If they don't see it and can abuse it all game long, they get so shafted. They have no chance. I mean,
It's a pretty easy card to abuse against
Yeah.
like a low
sure,
curve
but you
deck.
need to see it. If you don't see it, you're completely screwed.
True.
Have people? Have people played against, for example, HRD Red Keep and HRD Iron Throne decks out of
I've
Barra?
played against
They are-
HRD Iron Throne, but not HRD.
They're
Red Keep.
surprisingly good.
There?
Yeah, they just power.
What do you mean surprisingly?
You blink and they've got 8 power on their house card, and you're like, whoa, I need to do something.
I think
now.
most people have been hyping them. Like Barry's finally pretty good now because of HRD.
Yeah.
Gives
I
them
just
consistency
wonder.
that
So
they're
I don't think
missing.
Barra has 4 good decks. I think they have 2 or 3
Two.
really good decks.
Yeah.
It'll be tricky.
Sure.
to
But
get them
they can
before-
play Barra, what's it called? Barra Kraken, and just play Rush and get some easy wins that way.
Barra
Yeah.
Kraken
Don't
is still
forget
really good.
I've had-
Barra with Tyrell.
I mean,
to,
and also
Tyrell
the
Keeper.
You can play
um,
Barra Targ. Like, there's some cool decks.
the
out of
Barra
Barra.
Alliance with Greyjoy and Targ.
The German deck, right?
Yeah, it's a Rush deck. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not the best in the world, but it's solid.
It's a little bit of a high skill cap deck, but yeah.
I don't feel like anyone at war is just fucked.
No,
No.
that's the nature of the war. Like, no, and whoever you think is fucked is probably gonna do just fine. Like, it's always like the results are always a surprise, always, which is great. Like, we can talk all we want, but there will be some big surprises from teams.
We got to do our bets next time.
Oh, yeah,
We will
yeah.
have
And we
one more
can't we
episode
and we
before
can't
war.
bet on ourselves. Like it'll be
Never
you
bet
can't
on
bet on
myself.
your own team. What do you got to do? Yeah, obviously.
Love you too, Aaron.
Do we want to do listener questions or do want to do war rankings?
What do you guys want to do?
Let's
we
do
wanna do?
questions.
War
Alright.
questions? Okay, I have some questions from
Want me to read 'em?
our listeners. Are you?
No.
Sure.
You want to? Would you
I have
like
some-
to be?
I
the
can do
kind
some,
of-
and then you can do the chat. How does that sound? Because I'm not following chat.
Oh, I'm not doing the chat. I have the doc I made. There's no
And your
there's no
your doc
questions.
is just your list of cards for me. So.
Oh no, scroll down, genius.
Oh, you put it on a separate page. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's at the very bottom is the question.
All right. So Jess Thompson asks, if you were a Thrones card, what would your traits be? I feel like Sid will have a good answer to this question. Sid.
Fool and bastard. I think those two go. I don't think we've seen that combo yet. What would my traits be? Jeez, I don't know.
It's so sad that Infamous isn't in second edition.
And it's also not a trait.
That's also a keyword.
Infamy. Oh,
Infamy
Also a keyword.
Yeah.
infamy.
I would definitely have spy on mine.
Ooh, spy. I like that one.
Buzz.
I'm gonna go with companion.
There you go.
I think
Cheeky companion trait.
Yeah, I'm a companion. I'm gonna go companion because you know what? Then maybe I get some use out of that one card that no one plays, where you get to search for companions.
Hot Pie?
No, the search.
Pie.
The search
Street
one. Hot
of-
Pie's a good
Street of
companion.
Steel.
Street of Steel?
No,
that's,
not steel.
Silk.
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 Yes.
Silk.
Silk.
Silk. Ooh,
Silk.
even better. Ooh.
What
Even
the
better.
hell does
Yeah.
Street of Steel do?
It's the
Look
fight
for
and
weapon-
weapons and items.
Ooh.
Weapon and
Thrones DB is down. I have no idea what cards do.
Yeah, that's I was like, which is Steel? I know Steel Cap, right?
I mean,
So
that one
Buzz,
is
you're a
almost
big
good.
theme guy.
That one
What
is
i-
almost
what would
good,
your
except
trait
it's
be?
top 5. My trait is probably, I guess, ally and spy.
There we go.
I think so. Very Lannister-esque.
Oh, I would love
Very
to
Lannister-esque.
dissension you. Just dissension.
Sandy.
Dissension.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe is Scheme? Can I be is Scheme on characters?
Spy would
No.
be. Spy would be.
Plot.
Well, first of all, did she say character or she said card?
Said
I think that
trait.
would be a plot.
Trait. She said trait.
Right.
So-
Scheme is a trait.
Oh, it's true. Scheme is a trait. That's true. That's true. Scheme
I'm
is
definitely a
trait.
plot. Visited by Sandy.
I would have
is the
put
card that I would
mercenary
be.
on you there, Sandy.
You can
Mercenary.
reveal it out of reigns. Neil's everybody that doesn't drink. I don't know. What's the yeah, but I think
Oh,
I'd be a
man.
plot. I'm not gonna be a character.
All right.
I was really drunk once, and Scott wasn't because Scott doesn't drink, and we made the most insulting Roy card ever because he ditched us. And like my excuse is I was drunk. I don't know what Scott's excuse was. Just so you know, Roy.
Super feel appreciated right now.
Being
Aaron, what is
drunk
your
is
card?
never an excuse.
Fine, I'm just mean.
Yes.
So bastard, obviously, right?
Yes.
that fits.
And House Dane.
And and Sand Snake, but remove the sand and just snake.
Yeah, perfect. Sand Snake, exactly.
I'll take the sand
Alright.
part of it.
And then for me, it's Maester. So
Oh, there you go.
I'm surprised Sid
because
didn't pick
because
Maester.
vegan
either.
isn't a trait.
Yes,
It's
it's
too,
not.
too obvious. You know, we're academics here, Roy. But if I can be anything, I don't want to live out my fantasy as an academic. I already do that, right? I want to be a companion on the street of silk, guys. I want a life of leisure.
Yes, a life of leisure. That's what the companions on Shoot Still have.
Oh, so then I should
Is it
just
right?
be
Doesn't that happen
Lord.
on Game of Thrones? Right?
Yeah,
So,
Sandy, you're definitely.
I would
be
Jess
a
also
lady.
asked, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much more awesome will Jesse's birthday be than Thrones War? Oof. And I'm going to throw this again towards
62?
Sid, who is Sid getting a free flight to Thrones War. So I'm going to put him in an awkward
Well,
position.
not to Thrones
What's-
War, to Jesse's
Well,
birthday.
Well, that's why I said, are you getting a free flight to Thrones War?
No, but
So
I can
I'm just saying.
I can drive there pretty easily. I love Jesse. I love what he's doing. That he's building this kind of Midwest war-like tournament, but it's going to take time, right? This is his year one. Like Thrones War year one was a nice little small event, like Jesse's is going to be. It's going to take him some time to build it up to what Thrones War is now. So scale of 1 to 10. It's not on the scale. It doesn't. It's not. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna be there.
Well,
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be its own thing, and it's gonna be great being its own thing. But the war is upon us, gentlemen.
I
And
I think you
nothing
have a
beats-
new trait, diplomat.
there you go.
As I think I'm also going to both, right? Roy,
Yeah.
you're going to both.
I am,
Everyone but I.
Oh,
Oh,
so-
everyone but me and Buzz.
but me and you and Buzz and
But
Sean.
all of us are going to war, right?
Yes.
Every single second Suns. We're doing a live Suns at
So-
war.
It's our first.
I
It's
would-
our first.
So I
true
think
in-person between everybody.
Obviously, Thrones War is 6, and Thrones Watch is 3, because that's how many Second Sons members are there.
There we go. That's a very fair way. I'm just going to agree with Sandy. I'm going to second Sandy's assessment there. Just rating it based on the number of Second Sons. I think that's a nice, safe bet.
So I love Jesse, but dude, it's in Kentucky.
No, it's not.
Illinois. Oh my God. All right. Mute Aaron. Buzz, can you mute Aaron? Like that's just
no.
like,
to be fair to Aaron, it is like really close to both Kentucky and Indiana.
Oh no, it's very close to Kentucky. Like
close to Kentucky is fucking Kentucky. I'm sorry.
You get that.
It is a very conservative part of Illinois. That is true.
You guys get Kentucky on. You can't get that shit off.
I grew up there, Aaron.
Did you? God, you poor bastard. You poor bastard.
I do think that Thrones War, I will say that it's much more self-contained in terms of like it's at a venue where it's all us. We don't really go and like take over public spaces. It's usually just Thrones players. And Sid, you've been to more of them than I have, and Roy, you've been to them as well. But like it's mostly just us. Yeah. Whereas last time I was in, I met I think the whole town. It felt like. So,
well, I mean, with Jesse's birthday party, like we're gonna double the size of the town, right? So
yeah, like
so.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right, this is getting
let's move
even
on
for me.
So
let's move on.
So CT and Jess both ask Sid and I, who are you gunning for at Jesse's birthday? Are you excited to lead a team? These are
I think pretty much the entire Wasa meta is showing up, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they're going to be in pretty hot demand. Other than the regents, I'm trying to think about who else really stood out. I'm blanking a little bit.
Definitely Sandy Barnabas. Like I'm going to snatch Sandy up. Like,
well, wait a minute. We're about to go over the numbers here.
I want to buy my Sandy. Sandy's hot right now. I'm buying my 4-2, man. I'm just buying it. You know,
buying that 4-2.
Targ and Sandy move on.
And buying Targ. Boom. There we go. Give it to Sandy. You know,
if Roy buys Targ, I owe everyone a burger. There's no way in hell Roy is even bidding on Targ.
No?
They require way too much thought for him. You have to decide what to discard and what to put back. No. Roy's going to be like, here's because I just plop cards down and then I win.
It really sucks that I have no agency as someone who's not a king in terms of like who bids on me. It's like maybe I want to play with some Ohio players. Isn't Nate
Aaron Kelly's going to be there. Yeah. He is going to be there. He's a good one.
And he and I go way
Nate's
back.
a very good one.
He's one of the first people I met playing Thrones. Like
Nate's also a creative deck builder, so
and he's playing Targ now, I hear.
Oh man, he wants to win something again. So
well, he is a national champion.
I know. All right. But yeah, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about this. I've been talking to my friends who were once regents of Thrones War for some strategies. So
Sid. You've been talking to Sid. Just say Sid.
I don't know other people. Okay.
Jeez. There's a lot of us.
There's a lot of you out there, and listening to the commentary these people have had, and I even read articles about fantasy drafting. So I'm at least trying to seem respectable. So.
Auction strategies.
You know me, I live in a constant state of non-stop anxiety about everything I do, so I would like to not fall flat on my face. So.
It's snake draft, unlike Thrones War, right?
Yes.
I don't know if that's
some
been
discussion.
publicized.
There's some discussion.
It is not yet set exactly how the draft will take place.
Yes. Otherwise, that's what we would be talking about. So
there's my diplomat at work again.
Yeah, and I will also agree. That's
assume nothing.
Assume nothing. Don't listen to Sandy. There's a reason why he's not a king. All right.
Oh, wait, is Nate not a king, or he is a king?
He's not. No, he's in the pool.
So, guys, who are the kings?
All right. So, Xavier asks.
Wait. I asked a question. Who are the kings?
Who are all the kings?
Roy, Sid, Jesse, CT.
Booker, Mark,
Mark Kramer.
AJ,
AJ, and
there
are a couple names that didn't jump off. Is it, I think it's one of Jesse's friends. I don't know. I apologize in advance. Like
more.
there's just a couple names I didn't know.
Wait, it's Jesse, Roy, Sid, Mark, Booker, AJ. There's one more. Yeah, you're right.
Wait. Booker's not one. Or is he?
He is.
Yes, he is.
How is no one?
Nick.
I
Nick
don't think
Hansen.
he
Nick
is.
Hansen.
Yeah,
Nick Hansen.
Wassow.
Yeah, he definitely is. He
Most
definitely
unknown
is.
player in Thrones.
Yeah, Nick Hansen. There we go.
Got it.
All right.
So, representing Wausau. So, all right. Okay. So.
Well, I know who the other one I was thinking. So like I did do a little pre-ranking, and I have Nate and Alex Black and Sandy on my list. So Sandy, you did make it onto my little pre-draft rankings.
right.
Alex Black doesn't get to be a fucking king. That's hilarious.
He does not. King
Jesse-
of Thrones War.
Jesse
but not-
really does not like him, huh?
All right. Xavier would like to know what are the best counters to target the moment. Greyjoy running Triss and location hate is an obvious one, but what other options do you have to? What other good options to consistently have answers? Oh, what are your other good options to consistently have answers? And there was also, I got a private message from Lance that said, if Targ is so great with Flea Bottom, why is Stark not raising up since they have all the tools to handle Flea Bottom? So why don't we take the Targ problem as just a whole?
I can answer the Stark part. The Stark is usually pretty good against Targ, but they're so shitty against so much other shit that it's like, oh man, if the whole field is Targ, I'm great, and then I'm just gonna lose a lot of other games. So not ideal.
Yeah, I read Saturday. The only game I felt even remotely close to losing, except against another Targ deck, was against Nate Tarantelli running Stark.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Oh, Stark. You mean Night's Touch Wolf?
Yeah.
Or whatever. He had Frozen Solid.
I mean,
He was
Banner
running
Stark
Frozen
is
Solid.
Banner
You
Stark
mean
is Stark.
Banner of Frozen Solid. Okay, so
And Ward. But yes, like Stark's great against Night's Watch. So if you really just want, like, if your whole meta is literally bringing it, take Stark. Also, hey, Mace beats the living piss out of Stark. Out of everyone. But Mace beats the living shit out of Targ because you don't have to do
he
challenges.
does. He can go way faster than Targ.
Just get 3 power a turn and just ignore them. Like be like, oh, I'm military. All right, cool. I intrigue. Yeah, I'll kill another Chud.
Nope,
Bring back
it doesn't
all your
work.
bullshit. Why?
Blood of the Dragon. Dragon is no slave. Good game.
That's
Mace
Mace
dies.
5 strength.
Mace is
Yeah,
5
Blood of the
strength.
Dragon. Dragon is no slave. Dragon is no slave. Goodbye.
So 2 dragons is no slave. Okay.
All right.
It comes back to your hand. You just have 5 gold.
Yeah, you can do a challenge and then
Or punishment and kill him.
Or okay, I have a way to stop that. Bodyguard.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, people don't bother with that necessarily. Though. They just do.
Terrell does. Terrell
Totally dupes him. They don't. They put the bodyguard on.
I mean, the question.
Not
Okay.
lately.
So Bitterbridge.
Just throwing
Okay,
everything on him.
if
one
Bitterbridge
person
doesn't
at a
win
time.
against Targ by turn 2, then it can lose to that play. But Tyrell Summer generally beats Targaryen because it has the strength pumps, it has the bodyguards. I know Jesse's deck has the bodyguards. It has the redundancy of characters to do challenges. It has the renown. It has Mace and it has all that other bullshit that Bitterbridge has. It just can do challenges and has protection.
Do you know
Well,
how Targ beats that deck?
How?
They run duel in addition to the Valar Dohaeris, and then they just win.
Sure, that is true.
But
That is true.
Targ doesn't run that, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't they?
Okay.
Don't they? That's exactly what
Alright,
I ran
so-
first Snow and Duel in Stalik. I think that just like Stark has an issue with winning overall, I think Barra has an issue with winning overall, but has good tools with the hand destruction stuff. Especially, the banner stuff, so you can play Martell Stag hand destruction, should work pretty good. But now when Barra maybe is on the rise again, I think the hand destruction stuff from them can solve Targ.
yeah, Targ also doesn't like dominance bullshit. Makes them very sad. They don't really have many good answers to that. And Night's Watch reigns.
Yeah, Night's Watch Reigns is still very good against Targaryen.
Yeah.
It's a little worse now. Consuming flames makes it much less consistent
Yeah.
than it was in the Gen Con meta.
Yeah, but
But
it still generally beats it.
It still generally beats it. Like, I mean, but Targ has more outs. You have to play even more carefully. Like,
Yeah.
Aaron and Sandy know I've run the Night's Watch Reigns into Targ games a lot, and like it used to require careful play, but now requires like really, really careful play. But still generally beats it because the daggers are really just no fun.
Yeah, the daggers are the key to that matchup.
Mhm.
I actually think, I mean, my philosophy is always just pack 2 Isle of Ravens in whatever deck you're running, and you can at least even the odds a little bit.
But Targ is just, it is.
They don't get rid of locations very well, so I think anything that's like a location-based answer is your best bet, and that's mostly what people said around the table was like deal with them with your strong locations. Sometimes attachments, I guess, if you're Night's Watch, but even Night's Watch is really doing it through locations too. So it's
Yeah.
like good location deck.
so-
They don't blow up
so-
locations very well.
So
fast.
Greyjoy, in general, like if you build well and play well and don't get unlucky. So Night's Watch Reigns, Stark, we're gonna say, no fun.
Yeah.
And
Martel
then
Stag.
Martel Stag, and and sometimes Barra shit.
Baradom stuff.
Yeah, Barra
Sometimes.
stuff. I mean, Bob is kind of a pain in the ass, right?
I mean, I think you guys I think you're right, but all of those are like none of them are like total blowouts. I don't think.
No.
I
No,
think
No. That's
No, we're not talking about blood.
That's really the.
They just said,
That's
"How
my-
do you beat a dominant?" Like they're
Right.
the best. So it's like, how do you
Right.
stand it? It's really how do you give yourself an opportunity
Yeah.
to challenge
I mean,
the deck, right?
If you can have a 50-50 matchup versus the best deck in the meta, I mean, that's good.
Yeah, and I mean, Targ is in a similar place to where Lannister was, right, in the first year of the game, which is not unbeatable, but it has a lot
I
of
think we might be
positive
about to-
matchups to neutral matchups.
Like, I don't know what Targ does to stop like a turn 2 Greyjoy, that stupid event.
Yeah, I agree.
But-
I mean,
but
I
beats
actually
that,
think
right?
Greyjoy beats
I think-
Targ most
Yeah.
of the time.
I think that stupid event is just like, all right, they got to 6 power. Oops, they're at 13. What do you do?
Yeah, but there was a time when Baratheon just beat Lannister, but Baratheon just lost.
no,
to
they didn't.
everything.
They
So
didn't. They still didn't. They only beat Lannister.
I mean, I don't think we've seen the equivalent of the Stark Watch deck that beat Lanny Reigns like 100% of the time for Targ. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very true. Very true. But there are matchups to play. There's stuff to try. So we gave
I think
you a nice
Martel
list.
Stag might be the closest.
I think so.
Yeah, the super dom hand destruction
Yeah.
nonsense.
The
like,
CT deck. Got it. Yeah.
the Alex a version of the Alex Black deck could also. But anyway,
Mm.
all right. Next question, which is going to be Booker would like to know if you had an event tomorrow and had to take a fringe deck with you, what would it be and why? And I am glad Aaron included this, and I wanted to say it because Booker, thank you for giving a productive question.
So I'm gonna
No,
say if
The
if
teacher
Booker
in me
was
says
gone,
always
Roy would
praise
just knock out.
people for their positive contributions rather than criticizing them for their negative ones. So good job, Booker. Our resident jank expert.
Wait, can you
is
say
some of our
the
existence.
question again?
Yes.
If you had an event tomorrow and had to take a fringe deck, what would it be
French
and why?
deck.
Fringe.
So like a tier 1.5 or lower deck. Buzz, you're our jank master. Excluding.
Oh, we're not talking about actual French decks because I have those.
Fringe.
Fringe. I was like, oh,
Fringe.
French decks. Yes, there are very many French decks. They are very good. They are good
No,
players,
Fringe,
especially in
like-
melee. Oh
No,
my god.
not French. That would literally only be a question for you if it was a French.
Yeah,
deck.
I was
Maybe-
like,
maybe
Booker
Sandy
knows
could-
me so well. Okay, Fringe decks. So I've been trying to solve the Lanny Rose with heavy kill and discard, like some night stuff and everything that discards and kills. It's pretty fun, but it's not solved yet. I might take that, or I would take. What's else on the Fringe? Probably some Brotherhood bullshit.
You're not gonna say Stark? I'm so disappointed in you. It's
It's not French to Buzz.
Yes, exactly. Well, Northern Members decks, of course. I love that. Or As Hard as Winter deck. I love that.
I really want to make this hard as winter work.
Number 2 Jank Meister here, co-host of the Jank Tank, which only had 3 days of Christmas.
Yeah, I've been trying to, and this is fringe, so I'm not I'm not going to win anything with this, but I've been trying to play with knight decks and make knights work, trying to hit like that cool kind of sweet spot of 4 and 5 cost characters, so that I can duel and first snow. Yeah, I just want to duel first snow, like get suddenly like 8 knights out and just give them all renown and win. Like that's kind of the jankiness, kind of fringe stuff that I've been kind of playing with on the side, or that's what I was doing before Thrones War started. So if I was just playing a fun tournament tomorrow, I would probably throw a Knights deck together. And I've tried it out of like 4 houses. Like there's a lot of houses that can do it right now. The curves are pretty cool. It's a good time, I think, for those kind of 4 and 5 cost decks that can walk that line between the resets.
Okay, let me revise, by the way. Sandsteed deck. Sandsteed. Yes.
Sandsteed is,
yes.
I like Sandsteed.
Yes.
Is it Martell Summer? Is it full on Martell Summer?
No, Martell Rose. I have it's not good enough for Thrones War, so I can share
it's with the
it's so fun.
It's with the knight that gets a power every time you play a summer plot, isn't it?
You play Change of Plans. You play 3 Sandsteeds.
Yeah.
You play 3 Boneway, 2 Iron Throne, and 1 Hellholt.
Oh.
And just take power, like 5 or 6 power a turn, and do nothing.
That deck needs White Ravens.
We
that's
just keep
loyal.
getting more ways to do nothing in this.
White
game.
Ravens are
More
not loyal.
ways to do
They are not loyal.
They're not loyal? Oh, I thought they were loyal.
And you need to not lose power, which is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Sandy, what would you play?
Oh, Night's Watch Rose. I think that's a jank deck that hasn't been solved yet, but I think an aggressive Night's Watch Rose, like Gren is so good.
Gren is so good.
It's a standard rand with Sworn to the Watch, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
You don't even really need Sworn to the Watch, but
Gren won't work with him.
That's
without it, right?
that's what
Well,
makes it janky instead of good, though. So.
Yeah.
well, you have core Jon Snow, right? So
Yeah.
Well,
that works with Gren.
and good Jon Snow too.
And good Jon Snow, and
Who
like
stands?
Corn is good. There's just all sorts of good cards there.
Corn is a really good card.
High Garden
So-
Courtier and Marjorie Tyrell. So,
Aaron?
but I think
Sorry, Sandy.
My actual Thrones War deck
I think that's
is
what's
the answer.
underused. With the
So
Defiant Space.
I'm not going to say it's literally the deck I'm taking to Thrones War. I'm taking such
And it's a
fringe
fringe.
deck.
And it's a fringe.
Such a
like,
fringe deck. Such a fringe deck. It's the fringiest of the fringe decks.
Perfect.
That means he found a bunch of really good decks that he convinced other people to play. So he's given some of Johnny's secrets here. All right. For me, it would be Greyjoy.
Oh wait! The other thing I would bring. I'm sorry. There is another deck. Johnny has this weird Night's Watch Reigns that is not at all like our Night's Watch Reigns. That is the most fun thing in the world that I'm dying to take to a tournament.
You can see it in play if you send it to Roy.
I could.
Yeah,
Johnny would not forgive you, though.
Team Night's Watch would be
I don't
happy to
have it.
test that thing for you guys. We'll throw it through the ringer. See what
but
happens.
awesome.
All right. Well,
I don't-
that's fun. That's a fun thing to find out. So the other thing, it would be me. That would be Greyjoy, Corpse Lake in Joust, like a Corpse Lake deck in Joust. Yeah, he falls asleep. I just think that that's just such a ridiculous card, and it would be fun to just see how many cards I can pillage and maybe mill somebody to the win or just claim a bunch of power. So
Can I just point out Buzz snoring when his suggestion was Iron Throne, Boneway, do nothing?
But I mean, my deck would prove how ridiculous it is, and I mean it has like 12 cards that you win by doing nothing.
The hypocrisy.
Yeah,
the hypocrisy.
we already
Isn't Corpse
talked
Lake
about-
all over Thrones, the Iron Throne, by the way?
Yeah, I
No.
played against
Yeah.
it.
No, I
Every
know.
I played
other
against it a
deck
number
I
of
play
times.
I mean,
against.
but a lot of those decks are bad.
Oh, the players as well. So
Yeah,
I don't throw shade at other players, but I will say bad deck. All right. So
Thanks for a good question, Booker.
Yeah, very good question, Booker. So Colin Weir, we already talked about Withering Cold. So I'll go to his second question, which is
What's
is
the
New
best
Osh?
place is the question. No, because that's a different question.
Okay.
What is
Yeah, I'm
outside
still
of
gonna-
Terra, what is the very best place? One choice. One deck. What is the best place?
Lanny Dragon.
best place? What?
Yeah, I don't know what.
Best
what do you
place
think?
for Withering
You cut
Cold.
Roy off, and
Withering Cold.
I don't know what.
Roy was just going to skip the question.
Oh, best place for Withering Cold.
It's got to be Targ, right?
I think Lanny Dragon. I think Banner Targ.
Oof, no, I think Targ main because you get that. Like I think something like that. The stupid Build a Barristan deck. The one from Worlds that like just where he stands 8 million times and you have all the jumper shit and you just rush. So you're like, all right, you're knelt on turn 2. I'm gonna play everything. Fuck you. Haha, I win.
Yeah, I think there's probably a similar to the Martathian from 1E, where they have a turn where they can't do much, and you just win that turn.
Yeah.
A Baratheon deck with Varys. Is it?
Well, no, outside.
Well, he said besides Barra.
Besides Barra, okay. A Martell Stag deck with with Varys.
Keep Barra.
A Varys deck. Some kind of Varys deck. Yeah.
All right. And
Night's Watch Winter.
What? Okay. We know what Roy's taking.
It's not bad. I mean, it's a good winter card. I'd try it out of Greyjoy Winter. I might play it out of.
Yeah, but then you're playing the wrong Asha.
Maybe. What is it? It's like a Night's Watch Kraken deck. I would try it out of that.
All right, so Colin's second question was, is the new Asha or the new Ariane better? We already know Aaron's answer to that question.
My favorite part of the game.
Sid, what would you say? I've been going to Sid a lot, so.
Better? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Which is better, new Asha or new Ariane?
I've only played against new Ariane once, and she wasn't that bad. So I would say new Asha. New Asha's worse. Or better, I guess. Worse to play against, which means she's better.
Sandy?
Yeah, new Asha is way better. I don't know how I can say if Asha existed in any other faction, that faction would immediately be the best faction to play.
Stark, even in Stark.
Yeah, a 7-cost Tricon. It lets you draw. It lets you stealth the top. Yeah,
it's really interesting that why Greyjoy got the theme of Tricons. But they do have that theme. I don't know.
Don't they only have 2?
They only have 2.
2 7-costers though.
2 7-costers. They have what's the 5-cost Asha? I feel like they have one other one.
Not a 3. It's the 5-cost Asha is not a Tricon.
No, it's the the fake Asha.
The fake Asha. The fake Asha.
Esgrid.
Esgrid. Yeah. The new Asha, the 2-strength double stealth Asha.
Yeah.
But not new Asha because the new Asha is literally.
There's she has just like 5 Ashas, but
3. There's 5 Marjories.
That's true. Aaron's Ariane. I'm actually going to agree with Aaron. Like maybe it's just because I played against Ariane a lot more than I played against Asha, and I've been rolled by Ariane more than I've only lost 1 game against someone playing Asha so far in like 4 or 5 games I've encountered with people playing Greyjoy. So I'm just gonna say Ariane because that's just what I've been rolled by more. And as long-time listeners will know, I'm just upset about the last thing that rolled me. So it was Martell.
Buzz?
Asha is way better.
I think Asha's okay. That is very good to know.
Let's see. Ethan Simpson would like to know, what decks do you find the most annoying to play against? Let's go to Sandy here.
I already answered it in Facebook, but Martell Wolf. The deck is obnoxious to play against. I don't know that it always beats me, but I think I've won games against it, but I never feel like I'm winning. And it's always so frustrating to have none of my shit work. It's like, I'll have Ario Hota, or like you'll lose a challenge icon or 3, or I'll return some random card to your hand or whatever. It's just super annoying. Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dislike. I mean, and personally, I think this is just a trait of mine. I don't like it when stuff interrupts my plans on my turn. Like I'm fine with you doing your stuff, but like I don't like it when you're just screwing around with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I hate playing against that deck. That's all it does.
My favorite deck type is whatever screws my opponent the most.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, so Buzz, what is your least favorite deck type to play against, or
The
deck to play against?
Wall. They just
Shocking.
I can play against combo. I can play against IKEA. I hate the wall. I despise it.
I agree. Yeah, a setup wall is a nightmare. But I think I hate Mace a little bit more right now because like nothing's more annoying than when like they get the Mace going and they're drawing 8 cards and they take 10 minutes to fucking add the power and then draw 3 and discard 3 and like you're just sitting there watching them draw and play with cards and it's like, dude, just fucking take power, move on. You've won this game. I don't have an answer for Mace. Can we just fucking keep moving? And like it just, I drew 4 cards. Oh, what do I keep? Ooh, which am I discard? Fucking move on. Ugh, I hate that fucking deck.
Was it me? Oh, it's combo. I mean, it's just it's not annoying because it's unbeatable. It's annoying because there's just so much downtime. Like I just want to play a game, and I just like the downtime drives me crazy. I wouldn't even mind it if it was like Iron Throne and it was like more instantaneous. All the goddamn shuffles. Like if we could just get to it.
Yeah.
We could just get to your net. Like just do it. I just have to do it. Do your stuff, man. Do it as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I
waiting
don't want
that
to play for an hour and have it be 4 plots. Like come on, let's go. And that's it. Like I had nothing to do with it not being a part of Thrones War, but I'm really happy it's not there. Not because I think it would win. It's a drag, man. Like it's a drag. It's such a drag of a game to play against them.
I hear you, Sandy. So mine would be probably Martel Stag. I find the dominance package plus his Viper Eyes to be really, and then of course also Seen in Flames to be just really frustrating to play against because you feel like and then of course if you're playing against the Alex Black version that just does the Vanguard Lancer, it's just really frustrating because the counterplay of like trying to just race them and then suddenly they slap down an orphan and then sometimes can slap 2 orphans down and just start chaining this nonsense. And then, okay, I got up to 10 power. Well, now I'm at 1 power. And you've got the wall. And it's just like, oh, okay. And, like, it's just very, very frustrating. And then, like, the power, and then your power challenge, you're trying to protect your hand, but doing a power challenge, what you need to do could cost you the crucial card, could cost you the hand's judgment that you need to get, or the treachery or whatever the fuck to answer Varys. Like, it's just really frustrating, can feel very locky. And very locky earlier than I think other combo decks. Buzz is looking like, no, this is the greatest deck ever, but on his face. But I find it very, very frustrating.
It's very boring.
This is the similar.
And then Targ, but that's just because I'm tired of game.
So your argumentation is quite similar to why I don't like playing against the wall, because it's either they either crush you and you can't do anything about it, or they only draw into limited and they lose, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the deck either wins or it loses, and it like really, really hard. I mean, it's never
the most
close.
amazing insight I've ever
No,
heard.
it's
The
never
deck either
ever
wins.
close. It's never ever close. It's either
No, it's
win or
because-
lose
I
from
don't-
round 1, basically.
Again, this could be experience. I played way more, and this could just because I'm bad. I played way more like by the skin of your teeth wall games than I've ever played against a Martel Stag, both on Iron Throne and testing and in tournaments, that ever felt like by the skin of the teeth that Martel Stag player beat me.
So I think
with Martel Stag is you're just watching them eat your power, and there's no real interaction. Like Roy, for all his horrible flaws at playing Night's Watch and loving it so dearly, like actually likes interactive Night's Watch builds. Like you have to work to get set up. You have to figure out how to stall while you get set up. Once you have that stupid fucking Orphan Vanguard combo, you're just like -3 power, -3 power, and it's just like there's nothing you can really do about that.
For
And
Martel,
it's not fun.
mostly for Martel Stag, the stuff that is in their hands, and there's stuff like, what do I play around? Can I play around them having this card in hand, etc. all the time. In the wall, you see the board, and you're like, okay, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
issue. That's the issue for me.
It's a question of when you know.
But
Yeah,
even in
yeah.
a close wall game, like you can start to do the math and go, okay, they're gonna get 2, 2, 2, 2, Dom. Even if I go all out, I'll get 8, and they'll get 12. Crap, like it might be close.
Yeah.
Like, it might be 15 to 12, but there's no way you'll ever get more than the 3 that they're already
Exactly.
gonna get. Like you're just like,
In Martell Stag game, you might be fucked from the start, but you don't know until the end.
So
That's the difference. I feel it's different.
I have a
different.
counterpoint. I have a counterpoint to this.
Mhm.
I think one, the wall decks, they impose a different constraint than most other decks do. And I actually think this is it's like a well-designed card for that reason, because it's a clock, right? Like you can't just stall and play forever. And if you like playing control, it's like the worst thing in the world because you're just gonna lose. And that might be why you guys hate that.
Maybe.
I mean, I 100% agree with Sadie. Go ahead, Sadie.
Like Targ is definitely not a rushy faction in the way I play it. And I know that when I play against Night's Watch, like I know I need to actually pay 6 for Drogo. I need to pay 7 for Danny and get them on the board as soon as possible because I'm against this clock. It's not like I'm playing against Martell or whatever, where I can just screw around with dragons for like 5 plots and not do anything. Because there's
This buzz sounded so sad.
Well, the issue is the wall. I liked it from the start. I like, okay, this is a pretty cool thing, but all of the support stuff for it, like I don't know, Haunted Forest, makes it stupid because it creates a lockdown. The issue.
I mean, I agree with you, Buzz. Like,
You can't
I
give
think
the
it would have
wall
been
decks Craster and Amon.
well. Also, but I think the problem is that the wall decks got locations that push like the defense theme and attachments versus if there had been more defensive like characters.
Yes.
So like I have to do challenges and do tricks within the challenges with characters.
Mhm.
It would be much better. I agree.
Yeah,
But
I can give you
for
one
some
word that the
stupid
real
reason,
problem-
and it's so frustrating to me that Nate decided and Danny continued the monocon, like the fact that like managing your icon spread is like a thing you do in Night's Watch, and then you compensate that with Haunted Forest is so frustrating and constrains wall decks from being interesting. And like in a way that I think would get away with the buzz thing and make it more fun for everyone to play. But this is where we are today. Like, and so like Haunted Forest is here to stay.
Yeah, you get 2 icons on a Night's Watch character. You're like, oh my god. Like,
Yeah, it's just like
what
it's so
can I
fr-
do with 2 icons? Oh, he can't defend.
And
oh, darn
like
it.
I'm
All
in
right.
general like I just don't like mono, like I don't like when Nate or now Danny decides like that a faction's weakness is an icon. Like to me that's really frustrating.
Well, that's not really the case in any faction anymore already. Stark, kinda.
Stark, Baratheon.
What? Wait, what? What icon is Barra and Stark missing?
They don't have a lot
Intrigue.
of intrigue.
They can,
No,
they
I
can-
think-
could agree for
proportionately,
Barra,
they're
but
low.
Stark has
Stark
good
Stark has a
icons.
lot of intrigue.
specifically.
Yeah.
No, they
Oh,
don't.
they have the Tully stuff now, but you have to play Tully or
Yeah.
else you're not
Yeah.
getting much.
yeah, I mean,
I
Cat's
mean,
great.
yes, you have
Like,
to
that
run
shit
the
can happen
cards. I agree.
It's Cat, and then it's a bunch of bad
Yeah, but if
cards.
you're running those, you're not getting anything out of them but intrigue icons, and not
Right.
at a great price point either. You're paying 4 gold for an intrigue icon most of
for
the
a
time.
3
That's
cost
like,
entry, it's not great. It's just
Yeah.
they're not good cards. They're just not good cards. Stark has
where's
a-
the cheap Stark intrigue?
like if Cat or like expensive Stark intrigue that does something besides
or
the one you
Tricon
sack.
in Stark. Like a good Tricon in Stark.
Do they have
Would
a
be-
single one?
No,
No.
Lots of factions don't have a Tricon. Does
like-
Targ doesn't have a Tricon?
Yes, it doesn't it? No, I guess they don't.
No, Thrones TV. I don't know.
it's
down.
Dario's
It's
a
down.
Bicon,
No.
right?
Farah
Dario's
has a
bike.
Tricon. It has Renly.
Is Dario
Tyrell
a
has
Bicon?
Dario's a Bicon.
Tyrell, yeah, has
Renly also, right?
Also
Tyrell has
Renly and
Renly and has one other one, doesn't it? No, maybe it doesn't. This
no,
feels
that's
like
Renly.
Mace is a Tricon because you just never care about the
Lannister, Greyjoy, like we talked about.
Greyjoy has, and then
Nice
Martell
Watch has a
has.
fake Tricon. Martell has 2.
Nah, but they
That's
are
why
fake
it's-
Tricons,
It's
right?
the same
Yeah, they're
card.
fake Tricons. So
Printed. How about
What's
printed?
the second? What's the second one? House Spearman and
no,
Oh, Viper.
two Vipers.
Viper and Viper.
Oh,
and
oh.
Palace Spearman.
I
I
was
guess.
thinking about fake Tricons. Like
Spearmint
when you
are
go
fake.
second, they're Tricons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that
Spearman.
no one bothers to mention Lannister. It's like, yeah, that one.
that one. That
The
really
one we,
good card.
the one we saw a lot.
So
long
I
time ago.
actually don't. I mean, it seems like 50-50, right? Have Tricons?
No,
versus
I think
not.
it's slightly more, right?
only. I mean, if you count Renly out of Barra,
5 out of
yes.
5. I mean, he
Every
exists.
house but Stark and Targ.
And Night's Watch.
Let's watch.
Night's Watch has fake Tricons.
Oh, but we're not counting fake
Yeah.
Tricons.
Why not? Fucking
I would
Tricons
not count
90%
Renly
of the
out
time.
of Barra. I don't think I've
No,
ever seen
no,
him in
I
a
wouldn't
deck.
count him.
I mean, fine, he's terrible, but like, he's a
I
Tricon.
mean, technically, everybody has access to Mace, right? So, or Mance,
Yes,
rather.
Vance.
And Jacken,
And
And
Jacken.
he's actually
Uh,
good.
But anyway,
Yeah.
my point was, I think that the reason you're polarized on the wall and I'm polarized against, and to a lesser extent, I think Roy, you and I both hate like Martel X that fucks with us, and I think that it's just a matter of style of play. Like the types of decks we play get
Oh.
disrupted by that.
You two, how much have you played against Hamas?
I've played
Yes.
quite a bit
Because
against him.
I've played so much against Hamas, and it's so annoying.
It's how he loses in the gut, right? It's like, I made the gut. Oh, look, it's Tomas. I'm going
Yeah.
home.
Well, there are certainly worse things to happen to you than making the cut and losing to Tomas.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
Yeah, but
But
they're
not
better
many,
things,
though.
too.
They're
It's
many.
it's one of the
Not
best
many.
ways
Oh,
to
yeah,
blame
not
losing
many.
from.
It's not just losing. It's when just someone kind of has your number. It's just the worst feeling in the world. You're like,
oh, I know. Jess Thompson has my.
One
I don't think I've played against played and
Oh, wait.
won against Jacob ever in a tournament.
All right.
Did we
this is a
skip
good-
Did we skip Matt Gemmon's question?
Yeah. Of course
Yes.
we did, Gelman. All right. So I have a sort of final question before we sort of begin to wrap this episode up, and that is, what direction do you think some of the weaker houses should be taken to increase their viability? This is from Erlich Goebel.
Eric
Val?
Goebel.
Eric Goebel.
I made that up. I don't know if that's what you said.
I'm-
but that's
I
what
apologize.
I think that's right. Canadian, right?
Yeah. No, he's from Cincinnati, I think.
Oh, really?
So this is a
Yeah.
great question. I'm going to throw
Think
it
it's someone
to Buzz. Buzz,
Can you repeat
the
the
weaker
question?
factions. So to make the weaker factions better, what design directions do we need?
Design directions. Okay, yeah. Well, I think we've talked a lot about this for some factions like Barra and Stark. The issue is economy for them, or have been previously. There are some new cards that might change it. So, but for certain factions, like all of the themes are just all over the place or just super bad.
Just Baron Stark is what we're talking about, right? Let's focus.
Sure.
Night's
But
Watch
for
has some really
example,
cool-
Greyjoy have all of their different themes are all good together.
Good. Yeah.
Doesn't matter, and the cards are good on their own usually. They don't need the synergy to be good. While many of the other weak decks like Barra and Stark either have their main like themes not supported, or it's very split. So the good cards, you can't play a good theme from a good card from one theme in a different deck. So they are very specialized, and they need to be either less specialized or have more general good stuff. Or
Yeah.
I mean the support or increased support for the themes in general.
I
Sid.
agree with Buzz completely.
All right, Sid.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not sure about Barra because I haven't been thinking about Barra much, but I know how to fix Stark. Like print some really good Boltons with intrigue icons and give us a true Bolton deck, and suddenly like Stark gets really interesting. Like it's a missing piece. They've got the aggro pieces, but it just kind of falls flat half the time. You know, it just kind of falls flat. Partly because the military challenge doesn't matter as much right now. Like it's hard to build a winning strategy around military claim. Like it's kind of tough. But I think
Hey,
the Boltons can do things differently, and Ramsey's like our first real sign of that. We have what's his name, Lord Bolton, but he kind
Roose?
of got cool. Yeah.
Roose.
We saw a little bit of Roose, and then he just kind of disappeared because that direct kill stuff often doesn't do a lot when you're staring at like 14 dupes and bodyguards and everything else. I'd like to see Boltons do something interesting going forward. So I guess it's really just a play off of what Buzz said. Like expand on these themes. Like Stark could use some theme around, figure out Tully's, make it work how it's supposed to, and give us Boltons. Like we're just starting to get Boltons, right? We just got a Dread for it that isn't great,
Is bad. Say is bad when you mean is bad.
Is bad. All right, fine. It's like a banner Dreadfort or something. Like it's just not cool.
Yeah.
It's not even good. If you can make a full deck, it only works.
It works on non-start characters. Like it's not.
Well, and
not awesome.
And when you sack something, it's not like even when it dies or it's just bad.
Right.
So we have.
But
wait. We have
why don't
Bolton.
Tullys have Why don't Boltons have stealth? Like it drives me fucking crazy that Boltons don't have stealth. They're the stealthiest motherfuckers in Westeros. All they do is plot and scheme behind everyone's back and sneak and stab.
Yeah.
And not one has stealth. This makes
it's
no
weird
sense.
that the Boltons have the sacrifice theme,
Yeah,
and you think like
they
the
don't
main
sacrifice
Stark kids
themselves.
would have the
Ever.
sacrifice theme.
They would never sacrifice themselves for anything.
It's
Not
let's
even
let Sandy
themselves.
give his point of view.
We need
So,
a good flame theme, whatever that is. It's not burn, but flame. That's what I want.
So I actually think you guys kind of hit on it, but specifically with both Bera and Stark less so, it's that characters need to be good on their own without the supporting theme. Targ does this really well. Most Targ characters are pretty good, even if you don't have whatever. And same with Greyjoy. Greyjoy is probably the best example of this.
Mm-hmm.
Stark has this in a few places on the low end, but I think like in the 4 or 5 cost, I'm not sure there's a lot of like great value. And again, the icon thing is a problem. For Bera, all the characters are terrible. Like every time I go back to looking at Bera cards, I'm just like, why do I want to pay 4 for this guy? Like why am I paying this much? They're not good. So I think like actually something like if I was designing Bera to not be terrible, I think economy not based on Dom. In fact, a lot of effects that were just not contingent on Dom. The new Devin Seaworth, his ability would be really good if it didn't require you to win Dom.
Mhm.
I think like that would have been a step in the right direction.
so.
Because
What
So-
good characters does Bera have? Like I don't think I'm even being sarcastic because I think
Robert.
there's like 4.
Mel,
Rob Mel, Devin, Davos, and then the dude that lets you look at people's hands. Queensman.
I don't know that Devin is actually good without like.
He might not.
like,
Okay,
being with
he's right.
But yeah,
okay, Devin,
I would put probably either Fiery Followers. I mean,
no,
Fiery
they're not
Followers.
good.
King Stannis is a good card.
He's okay.
For
I
7
think
cost.
He
Yeah,
hits yourself, which is so bad.
So
Yeah.
out of
like
like
for
a
7
3
cost.
cost for a 2 strength military intrigue that stands before dominance. It's 2 strength for Dom. I don't know.
It's
I know. Davos that comes back to your hand. Did anyone say that?
Davos.
That's
I
a
said
good
Davos.
character.
both
you did,
Davos.
okay, my
Both
bad.
Davos.
Yeah.
What's her name? The stealth Neil is just a bad Barra character, right?
Oh, Maria.
Maria.
Yeah. Like that's a really good
She's a good
Greyjoy
card.
character.
So
She's
I think,
yeah.
sorry, Sandy. But I think to build on what you're saying, though, I think what Barbera and Stark for a lesser extent need is really strong cards that make you want. Like they both have great. Probably they're the 2 best banner packages now, right? And so they have good cards. Like they have good cards, but they don't have a reason for you. If you want to leverage those good cards, there are better ways to leverage them in other factions than there are in their original faction, right? So giving you
Is
a
that-
reason, like a strong reason to want to leverage those cards within the faction would be really good, and not a neutral card that interacts with a loyal card, but like something within Stark.
I know
that-
exactly what I want from Stark. I want to reverse secret schemes.
That causes them to discard cards, opponent to discard cards.
No. I want them to draw
draws
cards
cards
in the game.
early. Oh,
Yeah, first 3 turns, like draw and get like 2 gold. And you draw slightly less because
For
it
each
matters.
Yeah,
plot
that's
in your
loyal.
unused pile.
Like it would draw like turn
wars to
one,
come.
draw 3 or 4 cards, right? Draw 3 or 4 cards and like draw
I
4
straight
cards and get
reverse.
2 gold.
Unused plots.
yeah. Well, I mean, how many
fine.
plots remain in your plot deck or whatever that?
In your
Yeah,
unused.
but, like
plot
fine,
deck or
like
whatever.
fine. But that would be amazing, and Stark would immediately be good.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
that's
draw
exactly
be
the card
good.
Stark. Stark has draw. It's just I hate their fucking draw location. Oh my god! No matter how high my odds are, I fucking see a
Oh, the look at
Oh.
your top of your deck garbage.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not draw.
It's so bad.
Let's roll the dice. That's
And
not
then they-
draw.
and then
I want
they
something
gave
that says draw the card.
And then they gave it to them again with Mage. They gave it to them again with Mage. So like, if I run a bunch of Mormonts, I can look at that top card and see that's a Stark card with like 4 different cards. It's amazing.
I mean, like I said before, compare that to Asha. If Stark had Asha,
Right. Or like a
Asha's like, look
Tricon
at 8
Roost
cards, put it in your
that
hand.
did
Stark
something
is,
really
if it's
powerful.
certain thing, goes back.
A Tricon Roost that had a power level of an Asha would be very good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like everything they have is these stupid combos that don't like do enough.
Everything
Right?
is just
Like-
underdeveloped.
Yeah, like Rob Stark is great, but like, and he works with but that's it. Like it's Rob Stark and Prey,
Yeah.
and like Rob Stark's dead, and you're like, oh, well, this is gonna be a loss. Like
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
long
Your
game.
opponent
When
has
Rob
a way to
dies,
win
it's like-
without doing any military challenges against you, and suddenly you have to get real creative in how you use Rob,
yeah,
and it's not as consistent. Yeah.
no, but like it's just everything that like, and they want to do denial, but hey, it's really hard to do denial when like you have one fucking stealth card in your house, or two, I guess.
Yeah.
One's one strength. Like it's just like you get hit by stealth, and you're like, that was sad.
Yeah,
I
you have to
lost."
be careful with the stealth, with the no fun mechanic, because like no fun is
Yeah.
no fun, right? Like
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think actually passing the Black Gate or something similar would be pretty good for Bara.
I don't. They
Bear-
still
well, Bear has
they're
a
still
lot
just
of-
playing shitty cards, man.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
Barra just has bad characters. Stark has good characters. Just none of them go together enough.
and it's crappy event.
Same
That's what-
for Barra though. Barra
No,
has
Barra just has
Barra
bad
has
characters.
dominance theme. They have power challenge theme. They have raider theme. They have what's it called, hand destruction theme. I mean that's four
Yeah.
of them, and hand destruction that's one deck. Dominance is one deck. Power challenge is just bad. I mean, and raiders.
And
that's
other
a bit
still
factions are
hoping-
just better at power challenges.
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
There it is.
I'm hoping
That's-
for a smuggler Salador San that is very
Warship
that's
deck.
like,
They have been
Yeah,
getting
like-
a lot of warships lately.
Then that just
look
becomes a
through a number
Greyjoy
of
deck immediately
cards.
because Greyjoy has better
Right.
cards.
Every
All right.
every terrible barrel warship, I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, who at FFG is like, we need more warships for Barra. This is the great untapped market is barrel warships. Like, no,
Look,
Stop.
Danny and Nate are and Damon before Danny just really liked those 3 chapters in Clash of Kings that involve the Barra fleet. Those
So
are like
why
their
does-
favorite chapters in the
well,
game.
To be
You know
fair,
what would make
Warships.
Barra good? Wait, you know what would make Barra really good? Recursion.
uh,
Barra
that
had
was
a
1.0.
stronger-
That was
Yeah.
1.0.
Oh God.
If
bring that
Barra had
back.
recursion, they'd be good. Like if you can, like if you're only gonna have fucking 3 good characters in your house, there need to be ways to bring them back reliably.
Barra needs Power Rush.
Dude, Bob and Mel die.
We don't need
And
more
you're
power
just
rush
sad.
in
But
this game.
Tyrell
Fuck
took over
that.
the power rush mantle, right? Barra's
Yeah.
got to be something
Dude,
else. Like, they
Terrell
need to
took
be control.
everyone's.
Barra
Terrell
needs
took.
to be a great control deck.
Hey, Terrell
control
took
house.
ev-
They're just not.
Terrell took
They
everyone's theme. Terrell has like the second best ambush in the game. They have the best gold, the second
draw.
best draw. They have the best power rush. They have the
Best
second
economy.
best stand. The best. They took everyone's fucking.
Yeah.
Like, which identities besides, I guess, hard control did they not take? And I bet you they have that deck. There's just no point in building it because everything else they have is so stupid.
Yeah,
There
Tyrell
was a
really
Tyrell-
Tyrell is really the like the opposite of Barra and Stark, right? They don't have any synergies, but all of their cards are solid.
It's just like
Everything's
here's
just good. Efficient
I
card.
mean,
Everything is
To
just
be
efficient
honest,
and good.
except for printing Mace, actually, Tyrell is the design direction that all factions need to go in. To be completely honest, because they are cards that are just good, but can fit also in thematic decks.
I mean, that's
Right.
basically Martell right now too, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what's making
Martell
good.
is starting to get.
I mean, Targ doesn't have a theme. It's
Oh.
Can you
Ouch.
What's that?
Fuck
Alright.
you, Aaron.
hear me?
But
No.
Lord
on.
Glazer.
Are we gonna wrap up?
yeah, I'm going
Yes,
to be that
please.
jerk now and wrap us up. It's getting close to
Can you
midnight
hear
here. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
I
about
do have one
Stop,
announcement.
stop talking,
Yep.
Aaron.
I was gonna throw it to you, Sandy. You have a couple announcements.
Not really announcements. I just wanted to let people know a bunch of. I think no one else on this cast except Chris Schoenthal is going to Las Vegas Open this weekend. I don't think. No. So just a bunch of us are gonna. Well, me and Chris are gonna be there. I'll be posting to Instagram and Snapchat from Vegas. So if you are interested, or if you miss my old podcast, you can get a little taste of it this weekend. What else was I going to talk about? I think
Well,
that's it. If you go follow us
LVO
on
is on the
Snapchat, you
road to
should.
Kubla starting next
We
year
will
also. So
soon start updating that.
Yeah. Sandy just died on us a little
No,
bit.
he's back.
To build on what Sandy just said, though, all right, just make sure I get this right. We have an Instagram that actually has content. It's Second Son Pod, right? Right, Buzz?
Second Sons podcast, but Second Sons
Second Sons.
pod is the hashtag.
Hashtag. You got to see my announcement video of this new episode. Oh, yeah. Totally not filmed at my job after I got off work, right before getting on the subway. So expect content from there. I will also be posting stuff when I go to Star Championships, and of course it'll be popping at Worlds. But we're going to be putting up regular content. All of the hosts have access to it, so
Sure we do.
well, Fair nominally does.
You have if you want to.
Yeah, you have it if you want to. And so we'll be posting stuff, regular updates there, so you can follow the various misadventures, particularly for the travelers, myself, and Sandy and Buzz. Don't forget about Winds of Winter, the first weekend in February. Please come. Put on your calendars March 10th for Starman to Starpike. More announcements coming after Winds. Sid, you got anything?
That's it. I'm going to second Sandy's thing and just say go to LVO. It'll be on the road to Kubla next year. So this is a good opportunity to scope it out. If you've never gone and played Thrones in Vegas, it's awesome. So do it.
Buzz? Any announcements? No? Okay. Buzz is
Martel is really weak. You don't need to fear it for Thrones War.
Our Snapchat.
Sandy,
Our Snapchat is.
Sandy, your microphone is something bad.
Oh,
he fixed it.
Is this-
It's better. It's better.
I think I'm just getting weird.
I think you might be using the laptop sound instead of the headphone sound or something.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. But you.
Don't speak too loud.
Snapchat is Second Sons Pod, like the hashtag.
Cool. And that'll be going up on our Facebook group. And our next episode will be Tuesday. Oh, we're always going to be Tuesdays now, bearing some big change because of life or holidays or whatever.
Or
but,
because we got lazy.
We got lazy. But our next episode will be Tuesday, February 6th. So that will be the weekend after Winds of Winter and the week before Thrones War. The full week.
My wife is going to be the full week. Okay, so my wife's going to be fucking thrilled if I do a podcast 2 days before I leave.
So it will be, and we'll be talking about probably Thrones War. So
we're going to do our top 10 decks in the game. That's our next episode.
Everyone's going to share the deck list of the deck they're going to play at Thrones War, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will.
I will. Sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Sandy's playing Greyjoy Dragon.
And
Am I?
Sid's playing Stewards.
Why does everyone think I'm playing Stewards?
can't
What
play
am I
Stewards. Stewards is terrible without annals.
Because Sid is the rat cook.
I would love to be the rat cook if
I'm
Annals
winning
wasn't-
Winds of Winter,
if Annals
so
wasn't
you guys can
restricted.
congratulate me on that.
Oh.
You play
Shots
your Greyjoy
fired.
Dragon.
Sandy will be
Famous
paying
last
for his
word.
own room. So, all right. On that note, good night. See you guys next time.
Peace, everybody.
Love you all.
Yeah. I gotta go, guys. Later.